Hello everyone, welcome to Laurence Plays Foundry, because it's a Wednesday, and yes, that's what we do on Wednesdays. So hello Secretary, hello Board Easy, hello Regular, hello one and all. Right, so it's been a couple of weeks since I last played this, because it was show week last week, so I was a little bit distracted. But as far as I remember, last week I finished off the iron blast furnace that's way off in the distance off that way. We won't go over and have a look at it just yet. But way over there, we're now producing enormous quantities of iron, and I've got in one of the fracking towers, so in theory that should never ever run out. I also put in a fracking tower over on the, let's have a look at that. Let's use the actual map, here we go. Over here in the telexite ore vein, so that one is also now being fracked thoroughly by, there's a pipeline coming in here and pumping liquid in there. Now there is a problem potentially with the copper one down here. This is also going to need some fracking fluid because this was starting to run low, but I put in some extra vein miners, so we've got a supply of copper over here again, so that's kind of okay. But I might need to run another pipe down there. Now, the question with that is, do I run it from here all the way down there, which is a very, very long way. But I mean, it's manageable, but it's a very, very long way. Or do I try to start making more fracking fluid on site over here? And I think it's probably going to be the former, because although that said, there is a patch of volumite here, and I think that's most of what the fracking fluid contains. Let's have a look at that, because I can't remember what goes into the fracking fluid either. So. In here, is it going to be in metallurgy? No. Is it going to be in components? Fracking liquid, here we go. Air, volumite, gas and water. So actually, I could, without too much difficulty, I could produce more of it down here from this patch and then just run it over to here. There's water fairly nearby, just down here and just up here. There's air all over the place because, well, it's air. So that's a possibility. Or alternatively, yes, we could just do a mark pipe from somewhere up here. Hello, Madman. Hello, Peter. Hello, anyone? Who else have we got? Hey, Mark. Welcome. Yes, hopefully the lagging issues will be sorted out a bit because I've upgraded my processor, so the computer should be much faster and should be able to deal with any sort of with any of the limited processing name issues we get. However, before I do any of that, the reason that I wanted to upgrade the iron production over there to the new system was so that I could then come in over here and upgrade to using producing the steel with a bit more of the available iron. Now, somehow I will need to get down underground, and we've got an elevator over here. Let's use that. But in order to do that, actually, before I go down there, let's have a look. What I've got? I've got a lot of biomass. Let's get rid of all of that for a start. I'll probably regret that later when I try and use the digger, but never mind. So I need a load of crushers. Crushers. I've only got 3 of those, so let's go and get some more of those, and we're going to need more of the large smelters. Hopefully those under S, smelter small, maybe they are. Let's go and get some more of those then, and then we can start doing some upgrades on the steel production. I got a 9800 X3D because it's the Factorio processor, basically. And so far, well, it definitely plays Factorio about 3 times faster than the old one did. And I think it renders videos about twice as fast as well. So those are both good things. That's an assembly machine. That's not what I'm looking for. That's a freight elevator. That's also not what I'm looking for. Mining drill 2. Not what I'm looking for. What even are you? Oh, assembly line parts. La 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 la. Still assembly line parts. Large smelter. There we go. That's what I want. I want some of those. And I want some of those. That's a good start. Right. Yeah, so it was a fairly big upgrade. I bought a kit that was a motherboard, processor, and RAM as a bundle, just to basically make things a little bit quicker and simpler to get it all set up. And then basically the day after it arrived, we went into show week, so I wasn't able to fit it for about 3 or 4 days. But yeah, I finally fitted it on Thursday of last week because I had the day off, and now things seem to be working. So yeah. It was about 900 quid for the whole bundle, and by the sounds of it, it's probably a good thing I bought it when I did, because I gather that RAM prices especially, and also just generally computer components prices are going through the roof, and likely to continue that way. So, yeah, it was expensive, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Right, what's going on over here? Okay, this is all iron production, which for some reason is still running. Must be that I've not put some prior out. That's a hole in the ground. Why is the iron production still running? Well, okay, that one's okay. That one's going off to be made into concrete, probably. But why is this iron down here still running? It's not. Oh, we're just filling buffers. Okay. Fair enough, I suppose. Well, there's a lot of inflow for just filling up buffers. Okay. So let's break these. Not this one, because that goes off somewhere else. But let's break you and break you. And then this will stop. And to be honest, I then want to... Essentially, I want to rip up pretty much all of this. But I also need to bring in some coal. And if we look down one floor below... Boop, down here... This is how steel should work. This is what steel should look like. So we have a belt of iron ore coming in, pound it down into, sorry, iron rubble coming in, pound it down into iron ore, get some coal coming in, pound that into coal, proper coal. Then we crush those two together and we get steel ore coming out here, which we can then put into our smelters along here and cook into the actual steel plates. Are you a big smelter? You look quite big. I imagine you probably are. Yes, that is an advanced smelter already. Okay. So this is basically the system. This is what I need to put in many, many times over. So it's 4 and... I was going to say 4 and 4, but it's not. It's not 4 and 4, is it? But it is that to then 3 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 4 and 4 to 3 to 10. I could go with that as an approximate number, as a starting point. So up here, right now that I've cut those belts off, I actually do want to push all of this iron through here. So let's come over here and follow. Well, that's not going to go anywhere, is it? And nor's this. So actually, at this point, I would like to use up all of this iron, pull that out of the system, and that's going to get most of it. And if I do some shenaniganery with the belts over here, we'll get all the rest of it eventually. Like if I run that one to here, then eventually we'll push that out through here as well. And at that point, we can then come over here and we can start pulling from this belt again. This is the semi-infinite supply that's going to be coming in from the new iron smelting system. But I'd like to drain all of these machines first, so that I don't end up with all of this iron in my pockets. Right. Yeah, that's what I was reckoning. They say the X3D processors are basically the Factorio processors. They are. I'm not going to say they were designed with Factorio in mind, but I am going to say that Factorio apparently really benefits from them. So it's a really good one to use. And so yeah, it seemed like the right one to get, given what I use my computer for, basically 90% of the time. So everything there, scenery, buildings. Everything. Right. So I'm going to try and pull this through here. Ideally without getting stuck on absolutely everything. Without getting stuck on absolutely everything is probably not going to happen. But I'm going to hollow out an absolutely enormous... I'm not, because it won't let me build bigger than this. I'm going to tunnel out a rather large area over here. And now I can't see where I'm going over this side. So let's come back over here again. Let's go to here. And then up to about... here. That's quite loud. And then we can rip all of this out. And this will give me a bit more space to play with for installing the next set of systems. Because there won't be a load of dirt in the way. I'll just have a nice convenient orthogonal cave to play with. Yeah, from what I gather, it's the onboard cache that makes the difference, at least for Factorio. Whether they're going to be equally good for Foundry and other games I play, we'll wait and see. But as I say, I have already noticed that it will happily render video at about twice the speed my old one did, which is always nice, because I spend quite a lot of time doing that as well. Of course, it doesn't speed up the editing process or the uploading the video to YouTube process, but it does speed up the renders, which is still quite nice. It meant I was able to finish one and get it uploaded just before the stream started. Oh, that reminds me, I meant after finishing uploading it, I meant to send it off to the other guys in the Planetary Pioneers game for review, and I completely forgot to do that. Sorry, guys. We'll have to give you slightly less warning about it, because it's the video that's due to go out tomorrow, which means yeah. Once again, thanks to Show Week and having very, very little time available, I'm a bit behind on where I would like to be with video production. But hopefully now that the show is over and I've got a bit more free time, things are going to calm down a bit, and I'm going to be able to actually build up the backlog that I completely lost last time I went on holiday. And we have construction drones coming down through the ceiling. Lovely. Okay, well, they can finish that off. That's fine. Now I feel like I need to sort of do the same thing again, take out another big chunk of it. So let's go from here. Let's try to capture the mouse properly, game. Oh yeah, this is a drag and then the thing. So we'll go across to about here. And I am aware that I'm accidentally, in inverted commas, opening up into the area below. But that's okay, because I'm going to then just fill it all up with a foundation anyway, because I've got to a point in the game now where foundation feels pretty cheap. So so when I've got a hole like that, I just think, well, why don't I just cover the hole? Why don't I just floor the entire area with foundation like this? Well, the answer here is because we appear to have 2 levels of floor, which is very confusing. But I am, again, going to rip all of this out once we finish churning through all of the iron ore in here. Which is still dribbling out at a speed of most of a green belt, which is a decent rate. So we're getting through that, but it's going to be a while until we're actually finished and ready to start putting in the new systems. This is probably a good time to go off and do something else. Although that said, just hacking away at all this dirt is a pretty good way of spending the time while I'm preparing for the next stage. So how are we getting on? Oh, okay, no, there's machines still running over here, so we do still have. Oh yeah, and we've still got a load of iron here. Oh, but oh, I see. It's all the belts are full. That's why. Okay. So yeah, this is just leave it for a couple of days to finish everything off, and then we'll come back and we'll see how things have got on. In the meantime, I could start starting to spec things out, and I think the first thing to do is probably, given that this seems to be the level I've built stuff at, and all the belts and things are coming in at this level, let's take out another level of flooring from here. So we'll start off in the corner over here. We'll go from there to, how far can I go? To there. But just the one level this time. Right, and now I can just go in and I can fill this whole area, I can fill all of this area that I'm excavating out up with foundation like this. Build all of this up. And that'll mean I don't have to worry about these holes in the floor anymore, because they'll be blocked with foundation, so I won't fall in them, which is nice. And also the whole area will just be a nice flat area. And so this is the problem, because back in the day, I think I excavated all this out using using explosives. So I've ended up with some very silly shapes for my flooring areas. And lots of holes where I wasn't really intending to have holes and all that sort of thing, which sounds incredibly painful. So yeah, this is going to be me fixing it up after that. I do still have a freight elevator going through here carrying large quantities of coal down, which is not ideal. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this, because I am going to need coal here. So do I break this and bring the coal out at this level and then send it down a little spiral thing to the level below? Do I put in an additional elevator? Why is there a second one? Where does that go to? I have no idea. I don't know. We'll have to sort of make this up as we go along, though, I think. And in the meantime, let's continue filling areas up like this with the foundation. So we've got plenty of flooring, and things don't get silly. Oh, and I've run out. Of course I have. Well, I guess that's going to be another thing I do. I'll go off and go and get some more of that. I mean, it's kind of what you expect. If you start digging up massive amounts of stuff like this, then yeah, of course you're going to, and trying to replace it with foundation, of course you're going to run out. It'd be quite nice to have a way out here, but I had a bit of a look, and there seems to be too much other stuff built above here, so I think I'm going to have to carry on using the elevator, which is a shame because it's a bit slower than using the jetpack. Bing. Yeah, need some unpaid interns for the editing process. I did try that. Mike edited all of one GTA video and then decided he didn't want to do it anymore. So after I spent a little while making instructions and so on, and telling him how, showing him the method I was using and stuff like that, yeah, he did a grand total of 1 of them. So you can't get the staff, it turns out, or at least the unpaid staff. And until my videos start getting a lot more views, to the point where they would pay, where I would be making, where I'd be spending less on the editor than the video would make, I don't think that's going to be practical, sadly. Yes, Foundry can indeed do multiplayer, board easy. Yes, well, it's not something I've tried yet, but maybe when the game sort of is more finished, because it is still early access, as you can see in the top left corner there. When it's a bit more finished, perhaps that'll be a good point to try and get a load of people together, and we can build something bigger. Maybe put some mods in. Maybe end up with something like maybe end up with someone who makes things a little bit more aesthetic than I do. So we can put buildings around some of our factory areas, that sort of thing. You know, go a little bit more aesthetic. Right, so I'm going to put in a hole next to this elevator here, because I think that'd be a much nicer way to get up and down. So I'm just going to dig out a 2x2 hole here like this, and then find out if it actually goes to where I want it to. There we go. This is exactly where I wanted to end up. Excellent. So I just need to remember that over here next to the elevator is a hole that I can use for jumping into when I want to get up and down quickly. Right, so I've got a bit more foundation now, so let's just lay in a big chunk of that across here like this. Boop. And yeah, there we go. Now we actually have some floor in this area, as opposed to just floors. A very, very floored area. Right, and so we're still trying to drain that stuff out. Let's ignore that for now, and just start pulling stuff up. So these belts here, in fact, I'm not going to want those. So let's do an area deconstruct. Oh yeah, this area deconstruct. Stupid thing. Let's take out all of that. And then yeah, I don't want to take out the elevator here. So let's just knock out all of this. And then, how far along here can I go? Right, no, we've still got stuff coming out of this machine, so I don't want to go any further than here. Yet. Yeah, this one still has a load in its output buffer, so, but I can remove from there. Come on, game. This chain. I don't know what's going on. Right, we'll remove all of that. Okay, let's go and find out where these elevators go. So obviously they're going to go down to the steel smeltery, which is just down this hole. So there are a few holes left around here. Let's go down there. Oh, they both come down here. That's interesting. I don't need that much. Oh no, that is just one elevator. It's just bigger than I realised it was. Okay, let's pull that out. And that. And then I'll go back up here, and we'll put the bottom of an elevator in here. And then, yeah, if I put bottom end of an elevator here, then we can, then I can unload here and then have a spiralomatron that goes down there. Or I could put in a second elevator, but that seems silly. Right, so I want one of those, but I want it to be a bottom, like that. And I'll put it there. There we go. There's my freight elevator. Oh, I could have just put in foundation under the whole thing. Right. Then over here, I'm going to put in an exerter like that. And then I'm going to have a hole in the ground here. Like this. And then we're going to do this with green belts, because I don't know how much of this I'm going to need, but it might be a lot. So I'll have a couple of pieces going out here like this. And then I'll laser out the floor here. That should be alright, I think. Does that work? Can I put in a slope in? Yes, I can. Then I'll put a turnaround-omatron. So, bump, bump, bump. And then we go down here. And down again here. And I'll open this up a little bit so I can tell what on earth's going on. And then a turn round there. And then we'll go through downwards that way. And I think that should more or less allow me to get a belt going all the way through. So let's find out. So I want to go in like this. And this. And this. And then that. And I'm stuck. If I put this here, I'll get teleported up like that, won't I? Yes, I will. Okay, that kind of works. Because now I can drop down there and probably finish it from the bottom. There we go. Yep, here we go. I can in fact see where I'm trying to build to. So if we get that out again, put that there, and then that can come down here. And at this point, I'm going to turn it round like this and go back through this wall again. I think, yeah, that's still one too high. And then this can come out about here somewhere. So I want you to go from there down 2, and then this is a rather convoluted. I mean, given how much I was opening the floor up in the level above, I don't know why I haven't just taken out huge chunks of wall here. But for some reason, I seem to be trying to be tidy, and then that can come through to there. Lovely. And then it occurs to me that I didn't make the thing at the top an exerter, but that's okay because there's already there's a massive backlog of massive buffer of coal powder in there, so we can just burn our way through that, not crunch our way through that. Come on, get through the holes. There we go. And then over here, we want you to be an exerter. And there goes my coal rubble. Excellent. Okay, so that's now working as well as it was before. Now, there doesn't seem to be an enormous amount of coal coming in here. This may be a problem later. We'll see how much we end up getting through. So, I'm going to need banks of 4 machines at a time to crush a belt of that. Let's have a look at some actual numbers. Please stick out the hole more. Yeah, it was tempting, but I started trying to be sort of compact and tidy with it, and I know I'm probably going to regret it later. But I just sort of wanted to carry on anyway because Muppetry, I suppose, really. Okay, so we want to make the advanced xenoferrite ignium ore blend. So we need 4 xenoferrite, 2 ignium ore. Okay, so we make the xenoferrite ore by crushing that one, and we make the other by crushing that one. It takes 1.5 seconds for each. Okay, so that's fairly easy, and that's in depending on what crusher we use. A crusher 2 takes 0.75 of a second to crush each piece of thing, and a yellow belt is 160 per minute. So, no, it's 320 per minute. Okay, well, we'd like to do all of this, but that might take quite a lot of crushers. So let's put in some crushers and see what the numbers say, and then work it out from there. So if I put in a row of crushers going across this way, and I tell you that I want you to do the iron ore, there we go. Now it tells me I get 80 per minute going in and 80 per minute coming out. Okay, fine. And this is 320, so that's 4 of these. Good, the numbers add up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I put them all with the panels pointing in the wrong direction. Let's start that again and do this in a less dumb way. So I want to get the crusher 2s, which is you. Yes, you. The crusher 2, which is you. So take that like that. And then we'll start from here. We'll rotate the point this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could almost fit 8 in across here and do both belts in one place, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave a gap of that much, and then find there isn't room here because of the elevator. Actually, there is. Yeah, there just is. No, there isn't. Yes, there is. So I put those in like that, and that's going to be all of my crushed iron ore. The coal freightovator is not a very high tier. However, it is not. This is also not the limiting factor. The limiting factor is the is the belt that's feeding at the top of it. So that is probably going to be a thing that needs to be upgraded at some point. I'm going to bring this in on the other side, I think. Right, so I would like to come in over here, and we'll take you out, because you're going to break everything. There we go. It'd not be nice if these crushers were configured, so let's do that. I would like to do that, and then I get out the, yes, this thing, copy, paste, 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 paste. That was not enough paste sounds. There we go. Right, so they're all now programmed correctly. And then I'm going to have 2 output belts in the middle here, which I'm going to probably run over here and along this side. I'm also going to put in an additional 4 of these over here that are going to be fed by these are going to be doing the coal crushing. And if I remove all of these buildings, then I can put them in where they are, probably. How are we doing with our iron disposal? Poorly. That makes me not want to pull up any of this because I'm not sure where we've... Okay, we seem to have got rid of all of... That much I think I can demolish and it'll be okay. Oh, I've taken out the foundation again. Ah! Put that back. There we go. Right, so my question remains as how are we doing getting through the iron? Oh, pretty well. We have a yellow belt's worth coming in at the moment. Let's upgrade that just to get rid of it a bit more quickly. Although actually that was meaning we were getting rid of that one as well, so it didn't actually matter. Yeah, okay. So we've got rid of all of the iron out of this column, so I can demolish this one as well. Every single time. So all of that along to there. This one is still emptying. Yeah, so we've got coal coming down here. So I can spit coal out along here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then have a belt along here like this. That's just going to be straight up fed by the freight elevator. So put an output thing there. And then I can go, that's in the wrong place. And get rid of all of that belt. And try again with the belt in the correct place this time. Easy mistake to make, I promise. Right, so that goes there. And then we have inserters along here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And along here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we finish this belt off again because I appear to have accidentally demolished part of it. There we go. And oh yeah, it'd help if I made this into an exerter rather than an inserter. Toggle. There we go. Then along here, same sort of shenanigan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so they'll all now start. Yeah, there we go. They're all crushing now. So this means I can now put in more belts. So we've got some of these coming through here like this, carrying the iron, the processed iron. 1, 2, and then one coming along here carrying the processed coal. 3. We'll make sure. I'm going to make sure in a bit that I've got all these where I want them to be. So you are going to be doing the crushing of coal. That one. Then it's back into here to make sure I'm doing the things the correct way from there. So having made the advanced xenophora, then we need more crushers to do this recipe. Okay, and that's the one that's 4 to 2. Fine. So I've put in one of the. If I put in one of these here, how many of these are we going to need? So if you're making the advanced blend. We've got an input of 160 a minute. Blimey, that's like 2 of these for each belt. Okay, so we can put in 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Each one of these will do... And then... Yeah, these are all basically 1-to-1. That's crazy. I wish this game had direct insertion sometimes. But, oh well, we can do that, 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 that. This is basically direct insertion with extra steps. Toggle, 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 toggle. And then bring these belts, so we don't need this bit anymore. Then I bring these belts. First one comes into here. Second one goes to here. And then we go, how much are we making from this? Each one of these is making 40 per minute. So this is going to make 160 steel. That doesn't seem like all that much, to be quite honest. But on the plus side, it does mean that we're only going to be making, what would I say, 160. So we're not even going to be making a solid yellow belt of steel from this. But we're going to make some steel, so that's good. And one of the nice things about this game is that the inserters are all the same speed. So I can use a short there, medium there, there, and then long for the output, all of them, there, and there. And this is then going to take us on to the ludicrously oversized part of the build, which is going to be the smelters. I imagine there's going to need to be a lot more of those, because smelters always seem to be rather big. Let's say I want all these to be outputs. 1, 3, 4, and the same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so there we go. As long as we don't run out of probably coal, this system should just work TM, and I think we have already run out of coal. Good. Well, that's fun. But we should at least have a little bit of output happening. Yeah, we can see some of these machines have kicked in, but not quite as much as I'd like them to. But we do now have some output there. How are we doing with getting the operation? Get rid of all the iron, please, for goodness sake. Pretty well, actually. So I can run along here, remove this bit, because that's just sitting there. Then I can get out a bulk demolishizer, go from there to about there. Boom, just like that. Suddenly we have loads of space. And I'd also quite like to get rid of most of this, but oh, we can now. In fact, now that's stopped, I need to come back through here and put that back in, so we carry on getting iron coming through, because we do need iron around the factory. It's kind of important. Right, and now I've done that, I can now say I want to pull up everything from there to there. All of that vanishes as if by magic, and okay, I'll use the manual deconstructor to deconstruct these bits. Right, and this is now my steel cave, or at least it will be. So, we are now making 160 per minute of this stuff. Or at least we would be if we had enough coal. But we'll assume we do. We'll pretend we do have enough coal, and then we'll upgrade that later. So now I need to get on to the large smelters, which is... Please be under S for smelter. Smelter small. I picked up some of those. I know I did. Oh, here they are. Advanced smelters. Right, there we go. So that, well, we'll find out how quickly that can deal with it. So I'll put one of them down for interrogation purposes, and we'll say, oh, we want you to have unhelpful, very, 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 very unhelpful. There you go. Have a load of that, and then give me that. We'll put that in here. which was the Xenophar or Advanced Xenophar, that one. You go in there, and that is a 15 a minute in for 30 a minute out. So 15 per minute goes into this, and I have 160 per minute. That's helpful because that's 11 machines, which is utter nonsense. Well done, game. 11, and they're quite chonky too. So right, let's start placing them down and see how we get on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, maybe they should be a little bit further across so we don't have belts getting in the way. No, the pages are not formatted well. So what you can do, you can look in here and go, how long does it take to make a steel? And it tells you 6 seconds. Sorry, 4 seconds for in an advanced smelter. But it doesn't tell you the per minute. Everything is given in per minute except in here. So it's a lot easier to drop a machine down and then interrogate it and say, how long is it going to take you to do this thing that I want you to do, than it is to just do the sensible thing, which would be look in the pedia. So right, so we'll put these on this row instead. I'm now actually leaving a space for sanity, which isn't a thing that often happens around here. We don't often leave space for sanity. I think that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it is. So if I then put another 6 along here, it's more than is required. And I've run out. No, I haven't. I've got some ceiling. This is the downside of mining with explosives. Well, one of many downsides of mining with explosives. You end up with funny shaped ceilings. There we go, it's a little bit tidier. Let's see if that'll allow me to put in the machines I want in here. No, but actually I've got enough, so that's fine. Right, and how many of these are going to output twice as many? So I've got 150 going in, so it's going to be, sorry, 160 going in, so it's going to be 320 coming out. Actually, that is still just a yellow belt, 320. So I can put in a yellow belt all the way up the middle here. And that's my output. This one can then run across here and then all the way along here. And I can cut a little trench in the wall through here to get the belt to go through. Which is a little bit nonsense. Maybe I should just run them in from the other side and use splitters. But this way I don't have to deal with going 3D. This can just run straight through the side here. And then come along through here. And I feel like that's easier. Don't ask me to justify it because I probably won't be able to. But it feels somehow slightly easier. So run that through there. And then out along here. There we go. And then we need inserters all the way along here. Let's go input. Boop. 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 And round the other side. Bip, bap, bop, bop, bep, and I guess blap. There we go. Yeah, that's a good point, Board I should submit feedback and say, hey, please make this better because at the moment it is not as good as I would like it to be. My general opinion of the game, as you probably noticed if you, from all the various episodes you've seen, is that I really like it. It's a very good game. But yeah, there are still things that can be made slightly better with it. Okay, my next question is, where does the steel come out that's being made downstairs? My first question is, can I get downstairs from here? Yes, I can. So that comes out through here and then goes along a tunnel, which I can fit down, and it then goes up a ramp, which I can't fit up. But if it's going through there, Where's the hole I just made? Yeah, I can't tell anything. I can't see anything. Of it. Too cramped and yeah. General generic rage noises. Somewhere there's a way up. I know because I just came down it, but I can't find it. Oh, for goodness sake! Fine, we'll go up over here because we know about this one. Right, so here we go. Here's the steel. So if we can bring it through this hole in the wall here, which actually isn't too far away, then we can just somehow merge it onto... I'd like to just somehow merge it onto this belt, but that's not going to be practical because that's just carrying on straight upwards. Okay, so we're going to make this hole a bit bigger here. And we're going to move the ramp back a chunk. Which is going to be interesting. And not work very well. Good. Fine. Let's open a bit more space here so I've got room to play. Because what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out before it even got... We're going to pull this out. And we're going to pull a load of these out. These need to be one higher than they currently are. So let's put them in and make sure we know where the thing is going to meet itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is put in a splitter like that, and then we're going to take this ramp down from there, and this is going to be the interesting part because we're going to see how far where this gets to when it comes down. So that gets to there. And I'll then put in a piece of belt like that. And then ramps coming down from there like this. Excellent. That seems to have worked. So now we've got that flowing up there. It's going to go through the splitter upstairs. And then we can add some more steel in from the new production system to go through the splitter as well, into the other side of the splitter. And that's going to be relatively easy. So take you. I don't know why that turned into a screen. I kind of do, but I don't want to talk about it. So you go to there, and then there, and then there, and boom, as if by magic, we've now got a lot more steel, and I'm now going, you know what, I probably should have upgraded this. So let's make you a green, and let's make you a green as well. And then we can take that out twice as fast, potentially, depending on what there is available at the other end. And we're now making a bit more steel, so that's good. If we look over here, we can see these are not flowing in quite as quickly as I would expect. So I guess that's just because we filled up all of the buffers and we don't really have very much steel coming out over here. So I think the system... Oh, no, it's because the insufficiency of coal. Right, okay, no, that is a known problem. So we're going to need to go and investigate. We're going to need to go and speed up the other end of this coal belt. Hello, Origin. How far am I in Foundry? That's a very open-ended question. I've started building. What do you call it? Yes, that's helpful. I've built my first blast furnace. Does that tell you roughly where I am? Is that the sort of number you're looking for? If not, then please tell me how to answer the question, and I shall do my best. Okay. Now we have a green belt coming in here. Going to presumably the top of the freight elevator, which I think is annoyingly is somewhere underneath this landing pad, which is dumb, sadly, and I have no idea how to find it. Probably by putting the landing pad somewhere else is the favourite answer, but I don't really want to do that. Yeah. Right, it's about over there. And about this far. That was pretty good. Yeah, there's the freight elevator. Right, so why are you struggling is my question. Apart from because I can't get in and have a look at you properly. Let's come through here. Make a tunnel all the way around this damn thing so I can come around the other side and have a look at it. without interfering with my belts too much. Right, so we have a loader here that has... Ah! I think I've found the problem. There we go. Well, that was a nice, easy solution once I found the problem. I'm going to fill this hole back in again because there's a hole in the ground. But I'm going to fill it with stone so I can find it again in the future. Kind of. Right, so now if we look over here, we can see that this belt is now sometimes going like the clappers. Basically, each time we dump a load out in the freight elevator at the bottom, this belt runs like the clappers for a second to fill it back up again. Excellent. So now I've solved that problem, I can drop back down this hole over here. Go down here, bonk. And we should see... If we look over here, we can still see an insufficiency of stuff coming out. Is this a low-level freight elevator? I think it might be. Let's give you an upgrade. So that's a freight elevator 2-to-Vuta. I'm sure I've got freight elevators better than 2-to-2 around, but we'll do an upgrade on that for now to double the speed. There's a lot of buffer filling to go on over here, and probably over here as well. I'm sure I've made level 3 freight elevators. Or maybe they were waiting for rubber and I just have, or maybe I haven't quite made them yet or something. I'm fairly sure. Let's have a look over here. What you doing? Assemblers. Must be this one then. Freight elevators 4. Okay, well, we'll have some of those. And in the meantime, we'll put my freight elevators 2s into here. And presumably I've got some... Yeah, you do require 2s. Where are they coming from? Is that this... Is that this machine? Because I think I've just picked up a freight elevator 1 that I'd like to get rid of. Yes, I have. Yes, it is this machine. There we go. Get rid of those into there. Okay, let's upgrade that again, but even more so. And now we're just going to use freight elevator 4s everywhere we want a freight elevator. Bounce, 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 bounce. Right, you. This does mean I will, of course, fill up my inventory again with low-level freight elevators, but never mind. Right, there we go. Now that's running like the absolute clappers. And we should have enough coal coming out here to satisfy many things. Yeah, the coal is making it all the way to the end, so we're filling up input buffers now, I suspect. We are not. This machine is not running absolutely flat out. Are we filling up input buffers at the other end? Not really. Is it because it's all going down here? It's because there's not enough coming in now because I've tried to make this run too fast and we just haven't got the coal for it. Still, we do now have enough steel, which is kind of what I was trying to go for, I guess. Yeah, so I think we're going to need to go and look at the coal supply. I don't have belts better than 3 yet, because I would need rubber and lots of other shenaniganry for that. And the problem is, all of the coal for my entire factory is coming in on that green belt from the landing pad over here. And hopefully isn't running out. No, it hasn't run out yet. So we have a green belt of coal that is supplying basically the entire factory over here, which is terrible, but it's currently what we've got. Oh, we've got a tiny smidge more steel being made over here. That's amusing and kind of nonsensical, but sure, why not? But that dribble of steel is actually keeping science happy, apparently. Oh dear, what's this belt? Oh, that's copper. Why am I short of copper again? That makes me sad. So this belt is fine. There's a load coming out on there, but then this belt is largely empty. Alright, let's try and drop in here and have a poke around. I said, let's try and... all these places with so much spaghetti I can't get in there. Right, so this... Yeah, one of these belts is coming through empty. So filling up this one, then we're trying to fill up this one with anything that's left. We are. Oh, I see. It's because I put in some dumb prioritization systems on here, and there's an insufficiency of copper to keep everything happy. Although there is a belt going off that way, which is even also weird. Okay, let's go back over to the copper production area. I think one of the things that's been on my to-do list has been make a copper big blast furnace, because I was pretty sure the copper was going to start having similar problems to the iron sooner or later. So this might be about the time when I'm going to start thinking about it, because I'm stuck in a hole. Because if we go back over here, I'm assuming this is just that we're not bringing in enough copper ore anymore, because, yeah, look how empty those belts are. Presumably because I went off and tapped yet another copper mine just over here. A smidge here and a pinch there. Yeah, that sounds about right. We've got this copper mine down here, but it's kind of been depleted a bit. And I could upgrade all these drills to drill 2s, and then we get a bit more coming out. We're still going to run out fairly quickly. Okay then. Right. This bodes far too much. So how am I going to sort this problem out? Yeah, exactly. New site time. However, what this is going to mean is moving to over here where I have a vein miner. So I need to set up, now that I've got steel sorted, I can set up fracking on this vein, on this copper vein. We'll then get an enormous amount of copper ore coming out of here, and I've got a fairly big smeltery system here, which will we can let that run for a little while I then build up a copper blast furnace, and then we can do a load of demolition over here. So this is going to be an opportunity to run a ludicrously long tunnel, probably from. So I've got the iron coming in along here, which means I could bring, and I've got the fracking fluid, I think, being made here. I think, not certain of that, but I think it is. It's certainly available somewhere around here. So, or maybe no, maybe it's being made here. And in which case, what's that? Oh, that's an underground power generation area. Okay, so I've got fracking fluid in, I think, in this tunnel. So if I extend this tunnel to across here a bit, and then bring it down here, we can meet these elevators here, then keep going south to about here, then come across here and pop up around about here and start pulling copper from here, from a blast furnace over here. Right, okay, that's going to be quite the job. Do I have my boring machine? No, I don't think I do. I must have left it somewhere. Hopefully it's left in the other... That's a horribly placed pylon. Hopefully it's been left in the other tunnel, and also hopefully I'll be able to find my way into the other tunnel. I need Mario pipes or sort of chimneys of some sort poking up about in all of my tunnels, because I know the corner is under here somewhere, but I don't know if I can get down there. Oh, this looks promising. This might be one of my Mario pipes. Can we go in the hole, please? Boink, 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 boink. Right, so this is the higher level tunnel. This is the one that goes off to the Telexium deposit up here. Runs around here this way. And so that's bringing up fracking fluid from... thought it was. What are you? You're an empty pipe. Oh, good. Oh, good. We've run out of fracking fluid. That's the tunnel I was looking for, down there. What is this hole? I don't know where that goes. I'm scared. Let's go down this hole instead. Bonk. Why is there no iron? Oh, there's no iron because there's no fracking fluid. Why is there no fracking fluid? Okay, the pump is pushing that way. Let's go and try and unfrack this system first, and then we'll work on the next one. So this pipe is empty. We've got pumps attempting to push it from... Which way do you push fluids? It's that way, isn't it? It takes them in from here and they go out that way. No. It takes them in from that direction and they go that way. Okay, that's fine. So we go this way. Follow, 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 follow. Oh. Follow the pipe until I can't. Some of my holes aren't big enough. So that must come to over some... Where are you? Ah, you're making fracking fluid, I'm pretty sure. yes, fracking liquid is made here, but it's just insufficient. We just don't have enough machines doing it. Okay, well, as problems go, that's not too bad. The tunnel marker is any different from just going through and putting in these screens every so often to label where things go. But yeah, that is probably a good idea. Or do they do something extra clever, like telling you where an actual tunnel is? Do they do something cleverer? I am trying to imagine what that might be, but I'm sure there could be. Right, let's extend this, and then we'll put in more of these machines, because the sources seem to be okay at the moment, and then we'll panic when they're not, inevitably later. Oh no, I do have chemical processors. Excellent. Actually, I probably want to do a full-on copy of... What am I going to do with these pipes? Right, so you and you are both going to turn into T-pieces. That's how we're going to do this. So you're going to be a T-piece that way. You're going to be a T-piece that way. And you are going to be a T-piece that way. There. So now I can run my pipes, run all three of those pipes along here. We'll get all of those things through. The only one remaining, actually, we'll make this a T-piece that way, just because then I don't have to do a weird thing on the top of it. Right. So we'll put in another one of these guys there, and we'll do the copy paste like that, and then I'll run a pipe along here like so. And so is it all the way? No, it's not all the way. Like that. And like that. No, wait, that won't work. This is going to have to be... You're going to have to carry on being a straight. You're going to have to be a T-piece. But that's okay. And a straight goes there. And there, and this isn't going to work. This pipe's in the way. This one will have to kink down and out a bit. No, not that one. Oh, no, it's all right. I didn't demolish what I thought I might have demolished. They'll bring that all the way along here. To here, at least. And then corner like that, and corner like that, and corner like that. Okay, now each one of these, we need to work out which is supposed to be which of each of the pipes. So we've got air going into that one. We've got... What's even in any of these pipes? Water. Okay, that one must be water. So we'll take out that one. And then that must be the low density gas. Volumite gas, yes. Okay, so that's that bit. Then I can put in my T-pieces along here, there, and there, and there. And then this one's easy because it's straight. This one's less easy because it's a down corner like that. And so it's that one. And then inside here, with one of those there and there. And then I can put in a vertical straight pipe here like that. There we go. Now that's all hooked up. So that should now... Yeah, there we go. Now that's working. Over on the other side, I put in one of these here, and then we remove that and replace it with the T-piece again. Like that. Right, that is now complete, and that is now a thing that can be copied and pasted. So I can now get out the copy-paste tool and go, I would like to take everything from there to there to there, and I would like to copy and place. I'd go bomb, bomb, stick in a couple more here like that, confirm paste. There we go. Phew, that was nice and easy. And now we're making we're making 4 times as much fracking fluid. Hopefully that's now going to be enough. Oh yeah, absolutely. Copy paste, yes, but the copy pasting, you have to get you have to make one that's tileable first before you can really copy and paste. And this first one was not copy pastable because the pipes were a bit spaghetti, which is why I put in a little bit of effort for tidying them all up for the second one, so I could then carry on copy and pasting along there. So the next big question is going to be, is there enough in all the of all of these intermediates? Like, have we got enough of the low density olumite coming out of, no, not low density, enough of the olumite gas coming out here? And the answer is probably not, typically. So we may be going to have some problems. May need more of these. I expect the air to be all right, because that, well, I just expect it to be all right. Yeah, we've got basically 0 utilization there. Oh, C3BBB8 is now happy about my efficiency improvements. Gosh. So I assume if we take a look at these things, we'll see that this one is, yeah, we've got, oh no, we're putting in, no, it seems to be all right. We are, it's in, the pipe is still full. And this one, the water pipe, easily full. And the air pipe, easily full. Okay, so we should be okay. And all the machines do seem to be working quite nicely. The question is, are we actually getting any? Are we topping up this pipe at all? And the answer is no, because all of the it's all getting sucked straight out again by pumps as soon as it's made. So we need to fill up everything else before we'll start to actually be able to see whether I've made enough of a difference here. Maybe I should put in another 2 machines on the end here. In fact, I think I will do, if I've got them. So do that, but some of those are blocked, so I'm going to need to clear out anything that blocks them, and then confirm paste. Yeah, I do have all the bits I need. Awesome. But that one, the pipes is too long. Ah, what's that? Is that the water pipe? It is. For goodness sake. Okay, so over here. Well, we'll do it here because it's easy. And I need a pump, one of these guys. And we would like you to not be that way up. What are you playing at? I would also like you to not be a high voltage one. We want you to be a low voltage one because that's really easy to put a clip in here like that. And there we go. Now the pipes are okay. And now all the machines are running. Excellent. So that should make quite a big difference. We should now get decent amounts of fracking fluid being made. Whether it's enough, we'll find out later. Let's fill in this gap under here as well because it makes me uncomfortable. Apart from the odd place where it just can't. There we go. Oops, I came out a bit on the other side. I don't care. Right, so that's fracking fluid. So hopefully now that's going to be enabling us to get some iron coming through again. Where's my Mario pipe? There it is. So we go back in here. Down we go. Actually, what's all the way at the bottom of here? Okay, it is all the way down to here. Well, I don't see any more coming through here. Ah, but we do have fracking fluid in here again now. If we look at this pipe, we can see that it is, in fact, full. Excellent. So hopefully that means this one's starting to fill up as well. Yeah, it is. Awesome. So that seems to be sorted out now. That said, I don't have any iron coming through here. But do I not have any iron coming through here because it's taking this long for the belts to run through and actually top up again? It's quite possible. I honestly don't know. My next question is, where's my boring machine? Did I leave it down here? This is the sort of place where I would leave it, but no. That's a concern, because I kind of wanted that for, well, a bit of boring stuff. Is there a deliberate hole here? Yes, this appears to be an exit. All right. All right, we won't fill that one up. Maybe it's over in the... Oh, it'll be over in the copper area because I was using it over there. So what height am I at now? Height is 89 for this main tunnel here. Let's go and... Actually, firstly, let's go and check on the... Let's go and check on the blast furnace that's making the iron. Because if that isn't working, I want to know why not. Because it's a new toy, and I'm a little bit worried that it might not... That if it's not working, that there may be something seriously wrong over there. So let's go and take a quick look at it. Then I'll head back all the way back over to the copper production area, and I guess start putting in some systems over there. Now that does mean I'm probably going to... No, I'll put in a fracking tower, but it means I'm going to need all the more blast furnace bits and pieces. So I need to make sure I get all of that, and then maybe do it correctly this time. We'll see. Essentially, I just want to copy paste this and then reprogram it to do copper instead of iron. Oh, maybe these tanks are filled up. That's possible. No, we've got a vent, so they shouldn't have filled up. They have filled up. I haven't plugged the vent in, that's why. Because, oh yeah, I was going to do something clever with circuit conditions, and then I was going to do something clever with turning it into concrete, and I've done neither. And so it's just borked. The fact that you can get rid of molten slag out of a flare stack is a bit ridiculous, but oh well. There we go, all these guys are kicked in again now, and there's our supply of iron pouring away down the belt over here. Okay, that seems to be working nicely. It's not quite as much coming out there as I was expecting. I thought I'd expect this to be... No, maybe I didn't. Maybe I expect it to be a yellow belt. So what are you? You are 40 a minute each. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, it's not finished. That's why. There's meant to be more of these. But I don't have any. Because casting machines are difficult to make. Or rather, no, they're not... No. I say difficult to make. When I say difficult to make, what I actually mean is that they only have relatively small stacks. So when you go over and try and grab a bajillion of them, you get like 7 or something, and then you do that several times, and you come over and you end up with something like this, which is a bit pathetic. So yeah, that's why this is a bit under irony, but it'll get there eventually, maybe. This I would like to turn into concrete. We don't have the capacity. I don't have the mental capacity for that yet. Not with the copper crisis I'm having at the moment. So we'll just leave that being blown off here into the atmosphere, which is I fully agree is absolute nonsense. But never mind. Yeah, that number's going down gradually, so that's fine. Okay, so we have iron again. How do I make a blast furnace? So it's a blast furnace. And then it's 3 heating towers, and actually only needs 2 of these air ducts. I just got something wrong last time. So right, so it's 1, 3, 2. Yeah, 1, 3, 2. So let's go off and get the parts for those, and think about digging. Right, back over to the main base area. The landing location is a good way of anything to find that. Oh, and I'll pick up some more jetpack fuel on the way through as well. 132. That's right, Board Easy. Thank you. That's having it in the chat will make it a little bit easier to find. Except technically that's backwards. It should be 2, 3. Wow, I don't care. Nobody's daft enough to try and build a second blast furnace, so I shouldn't get that one wrong. Jetpack fuel! Yoink! Had some iron. Right, so over here, this is where I've been trying to make various base unit things. So I would like you to make buildings. I would like you to make... no, don't you want to... Not one of those, not one of those. Not one of those. Yeah, okay, we'll have 2 of those. What do you need? Iron, steel, components. Components, steel, iron. More components and green iron. Fine. Hang on to the ignium ore rubble because I'll probably need it, but I'll get rid of that. End up with so much junk in your inventory when you're doing stuff. And it's not, there isn't really, I don't feel like there's an easy way to junk the bits and pieces you don't want. No. That's not what I meant at all. I seem to just end up with a lot of trash in my inventory that I don't really want. I'd go and get rid of these red belts, for example. That'd be quite a good thing to do, because I don't need those. Are you actually working? No, you need iron. Are you getting iron? You are getting iron, just incredibly slowly. Right, let's go and get rid of these red belts while I'm waiting for that to fill up and start actually working. Belts are around here somewhere. Here? Yeah. So I don't need to put them in there. I need to put them in the next stage so they can be upgraded. Those go in here, like that. There we go. And then here, are you ramps? No, you're splitters. Have that anyway. Your ramps, yes. Have that. Okay, so that's going to clear up a bit of inventory space for me. Yeah, so we're short of iron for the aforementioned reasons. So let's, while we're waiting for enough iron to come in, let's go and talk to BB-8 to see why he's so excitable at the moment. Hello, chappy. Bleep bloop.
Well, that's the thing. It never really ends, does it? Even with how magnificent our factory
is. It is magnificent, yes.
It can always improve. I think this is going to be the start of a very beautiful friendship.
Beely wheelie wheelie boop. Hey, no, I've finished all of my tasks now. Gosh. Station? What station? Oh, space station. Yeah, I probably should have a look at that at some point. There's a lot going on at the moment that I sort of don't care too quite so much about it. Oh, thanks for the resub, Sophia. Good to have you around. 37 months, nice. 37-month streak as well, which I assume means you've managed to be subscribing for 3 years without missing any months. That is very impressive, actually. I don't think I could manage that on very much at all. So yeah, good to have you around. How are we getting on? Ah, there we go. There's the first one being made. These things are so expensive. I feel like, given that you're putting down a blueprint and sort of instruction-y thing, I sort of feel like you shouldn't need to program it in quite. You shouldn't need to get all of these bits and pieces together. They should all just come out from the ships building the stuff for you. But somebody did point out that maybe these are the sort of the clever bits in there. So it doesn't bring out any circuitry. So you need to put in enough circuit boards to control the thing and all that sort of stuff. Wow, even more impressive with some Ko-Fi before that. Yes, that's true. You were on Ko-Fi for a while, weren't you? Yeah. Maybe I should encourage you to go back over there because I think I get a slightly higher percentage of the money from that. No, it is quite nice, but it is nice having Twitch subscribers though. So I have no idea which I would like to encourage. Just basically, if people are prepared to support me, then it makes me happy. That's all. That's all really. Give me that. So I want 2 of those, and then I'm going to need to make another 3 of the air heaters and 1 of the blast furnace things. And I think the iron's starting to come through a bit quicker now. I'm honestly not sure if that's the case or not. Ooh, while I'm here, I should find some casting machines and grab those. I think they are somewhere in the sort of the piping area. Steam turbine, pipe intake, power line. Fluid sample and chemical plant. For a casting machine, here we go. Gimme. Oh, no, it makes 25 at a time. Or at least, maybe the Mark III machine makes more than the Mark I does. That could be why. What are you doing? Oh, you're full of bells. Fine. There we go. Here's number 2 being made. Nearly there. The little bot over there is sort of a help system, I guess, as much as anything else, in that he tells you what to do in order to sort of get things up and running. Sometimes he's helpful. A lot of the time he just sort of tells you things you already know, but he's kind of friendly. So yeah, the idea is he'll give you quests, for want of a better word, to allow you to help you work out what you need to do on your way through the to get on to the next step of whatever you're trying to do at the time. Basically, let me try it again. Basically, he gives you quests to try and keep you working towards whatever you're supposed to be working towards at that point. And I just finished the last ones off. Right, so it's a load of steel. I need more electronic components and I need concrete. Ugh, where do we get concrete from? We'll get electronic components from here, so we'll do that first because that's easy. How many of these do I need? Hot air stove base is 25 electronic components each, so I need 75 of them in total. That's quite a lot. Also going to need 300 concrete. Right, let's go and find some concrete. I think somewhere over here I'm turning concrete into construction material, so I should be able to find some. Alternatively, I'll find that this is the input of concrete and we don't have any. I made a concrete production system over here somewhere? Oh, no, I didn't. I made a glass production facility over there. Concrete I need to get from the slag coming out of the smelting process, the blast furnaces. Let's come over here and have a look. Is there any concrete? No, because there's no sand coming out here, which means there's no concrete being made, which means there's no concrete being exported. Right, okay. Fine, I will look into making some concrete. Concrete from slag. Is that metallurgy? No, that'll be components. That's this one. Cement from slag. Turn blast furnace slag into cement from in a chemical processor, and then you can make that into concrete by adding in gravel and water. So I am still going to need a supply of gravel, which means I'm going to need stone for that. But I do have stone over here, so that's kind of okay. We've tapped one patch of it, and there's another 2 patches fairly close by that I can also tap. So if I come over here, put in some chemical ants, and then let's make sure we actually get this right. This is done in chemical processors, and this is done in casting machines. So I'll grab some casting machines. That's good. But it does take 15 seconds to make 4 concrete though, so that's not so bad. Let's go and produce an MVP of both of these, and then upgrade it, and then do the maths on upgrading it to filling, say, a yellow belt. So I need chemical plants, probably in large numbers. I've got 13 of them. That's a decent enough number, and I've got 25 casting machines, so that should be all right too. Right, there's no concrete coming out here because this patch of rock here has run out, I think. However, this patch, and then that means that I was running having a glass problem as well. However, this is now making glass, so I've got plenty of glass over here. I could make concrete from this as well, but I think better to go over here and start making concrete from the slag, because that's a byproduct that it'd be nice to get rid of rather than just waste. So it's sort of something that needs fixing, but it's also something that's just run out. I feel like this stream has been a little bit all over the place so far, but yeah, they're often like that, so what can you do? Oh, I remember why I didn't wire this up to the circuit network. It's because I didn't have any of the special circuit cable to do so with. So let's disconnect this now, because I'm hopefully, well, for now at least, and then in theory, we'll circuit network it in later. Because all that, we've blown through quite a lot of that slag. I feel like that sounds wrong somehow, as an expression. Pew! There we go. Pew! Just laser some rocks apart. Okay, so over here, we're going to have an area of building on-ness, like that. So, I'm going to put in chemical plants first, and that's you, or chemical processors as they're called in this game. I might as well try and get the names right. So put you in there. We'll get you some more flooring in a minute. And, okay, we'll get you some more flooring now, because I can't even program you without flooring. There we go. And I want you to do the slag into cement recipe, that one. And then we'll bring a pipe out from there and up to here. Pipe. Boink, 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 boink. If I do it like this, then it's going to be copy pastable right from the start, even if it's going to be a little bit of a waste of pipe. There we go, there's my input. Lovely. That's probably just going to kick in and start working immediately, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. It's gaining. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's doing what I want. Then over here on this side, we're going to get a supply of. Oh no, it's producing solid cement. So that, in that case, you know what? I'm going because I've. Well, actually, there's plenty of space over here for a casting machine. Like when the smelters are separate from the mines, they already. Yes and no. So yes, in general, I would agree with you. However, these patches, these the hexagonal ones, are infinite patches now that I've got fracking available. So in theory, these are never going to run out. So having these systems next to them is reasonably sensible. But yes, I'm looking forward to them adding in trains, and then we can start doing this sort of thing properly. So if I put that there, can I then put in a casting machine? It was a casting machine, wasn't it? Pretty sure. Here, I cast make concrete. It's super effective. Right, where do you need your water to be brought in? Is it an either end and it'll pass through? No, of course not. That'd be helpful. I feel like maybe this should be on the other side and it should be rotated like. Oh no, is it bring? It's not bringing it in on either end because this game is awkward. It's bringing it in on that way around, right? So I'll put this. Not here, but in the equivalent place. Yeah, I think that's better. So we'll extend this out a bit further, and then we'll take you, and your input was on that end, so I want that to be that way round. I can put you there. So what? No, don't do that. Don't be ridiculous. Change recipe. I want you to do that. There we go. So we've got the cement coming in along here because I'm going to move this pipe, having changed my mind about how I'm going to do all of this. The gravel can come in along the other side, and so can the water. And then we'll have the concrete come out on the other side as well. So this does 8 per minute cement. This does 5 a minute cement. Great. Okay, so we're going to need a lot of chemical plants for this. Almost 2 to 1. That's a lot of chemical plants, especially as these guys are quite big. Okay, never mind, we can do that. But first, let's put in the casting machines over here, since I've thought of it now. And get this up to running ironing at full speed. I say full speed. It's getting the the 2 belts that I put in running at full speed. The blast furnace is actually only going to be running at about 50% speed. Because I need twice as many. I think I need twice as many casting machines as this to get those out. Are you all gonna work? How about you and you? Oh, yep, and yeah. Right, there we go. So now we're making mumble % more. So hopefully that means these. If I've done the maths right, that should mean we get some full belts coming out. It's quite possible I've not done the maths right, but we shall see. In fact, let's do the numbers now. So this is 40 a minute, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 32, 640. Yeah, that sounds right for a green belt. 640 per minute. Yeah, there we go. So that should be 2 solid green belts leaving here now, and that looks pretty much like 2 solid green belts to me. So, hurrah! It's working. It does say unstable in Twitch for some reason, so it might be you. It's kind of hard to say, I'm afraid. I just sort of shout into the void and see if people shout back. It's it is a little bit weird, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll keep working. I don't currently have anyone watching on YouTube, which could mean that there was a glitch, and YouTube has restarted and messed up. But I didn't notice whether there was anyone watching on it earlier, so I don't know. Most people do seem to be watching on Twitch, or at least most of the comments are happening on Twitch. Peter was watching on YouTube earlier, and maybe he got booted. The short answer is I'm afraid I don't know. I don't really have. It doesn't really give me useful information like that to tell me whether things are working or not. All of this pipe is wrong. Let's start that again. So, pipe. You are to be an up corner. That's not an up corner. That's an up corner. And then an up straight. To there. Yes. And then a corner to go back to the pointing that way. And then over to boom, boom, boom. And a T-junction for the input. Like that. And then another piece of or 2 of pipe like that. Then we have a belt coming along here like so, with an unloader in here and a loader in here. And that's about it, really. We now just need a lot more of this. The thing is, actually, we shouldn't put this one here because it's not going to get enough through, because this is silly. So, instead of this, let's pull you out and move you out 1 square. So I'll lay a little bit more space over here. And then actually, I'm going to make this belt go the other way. Ooh, sounds like a raid. Hello, Solrun. Welcome. Good to have you here. Thank you very much for joining, and for the raid, of course. What have you been up to with your stream today? Playing anything exciting? Well, I'm sure it was exciting. What have you been up to? I'm going to sort of vaguely guess Factorio, because that tends to be what most people are playing. But you never know. I could be completely wrong on that one. Then, which way around were you? I think you were here. I mean, definitely this sort of direction. Yeah, I think this is right. Factorio, you've got space. Nice one. Remind me what you're playing. Are you playing sort of standard Space Age, or or Space Exploration, or even Planetary Pioneers? I have to admit, it's been. I have to admit, I have an absolutely terrible memory, so I have forgotten what you're playing. Oh, Metal and Stars, Tiber and Bobs. Okay, that's an interesting combination. So it's sort of a few extra planets, but not a silly number of them like we're doing. Oh, nice. Sounds good. Alright, that's going to be my gravel input, and that's going to be my concrete output. Which is not Bob's author. Yeah, I can imagine these things would overlap and cause some headaches, should we say? Yeah, that does make sense. Makes a lot of sense. Right, and then pipe. Can I reach the pipe? That's not what I ping. That pipe. There we go. T-piece goes there. And then we want straights on the end there and there. So I'm going to need to get some water to here. I think there's water. Yeah, there's water fairly close by. So I need to go over there and put in a water extractor over somewhere over there in the distance. But other than that, and I need to get a supply of gravel coming in here as well. So that's going to be a load of crushers probably, because I think I've just got stone going straight into that building there. Oh, I see. Yes, even yellow belts need to. Yeah, that reminds me a little bit of the problem is slightly too harsh a word, but unexpected wood requirements that we've got thanks to Lignumis, where every belt and every ammunition requires a wooden stage first, because that is the tier 0 of everything. So it's caused some headaches, but we've learnt to get used to having to just basically we've just been importing all of our belts from Norvis because we have a ready supply of wood there, and it's easier than trying to deal with it from everywhere from every single other planet. That's not the laser I meant to use. That's the laser I meant to use. So if we punch a hole all the way through here with the magic bot guys, what? Oh, it's too far. 1 by 37 by 1. How am I going to work out where the other end of this should be? I mean, okay, I do know how. It's I stand here and I go 773 130, and I come over here and I get to 773 130. And that means I need to dig from here straight through here like this. 1 by 37 by 1, and with any luck, yes, my robots can travel through solid ground apparently. With any luck, this will now be a proper hole that I can run my pipe through. Let's try that. See if I've actually made the hole all the way through, or whether there's an awkward point in the middle where it's going to meet. Well, there's still some undug ground there. Let's walk through the trees. La 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 la. Yeah, we add in mods because we like things to be a little bit more complicated, and then we go, oh no, but this mod's made it too complicated. I've definitely been there. Alright, so I made a pipe to there. If I make a pipe from here, will it reach all the way to that other pipe? I am cautiously optimistic, but I have absolutely no idea. Right, let's carry on with this anyway. So over here, I'm going to need a water extractor. Do I have a water extractor? Is it called a water extractor? I can't even remember. If you were a water extractor, what would you be called? No, search this menu. Water. No, it's not called that. I want to call it an offshore pump, but I'm pretty sure it's not called an offshore pump. You no, you're a pipeline to pump. Yep, pumps. Ah, that guy. Pipe intake. No, I have a pump pipe, and I have a pipe, and I have a pipeline pipe, but I don't have a pipe. I don't have whatever it was I was just talking about. The pipe intake. Pipe intake. That guy. But that does only require machinery parts. But I don't have the iron to make the. Ooh, but I know where there is some iron. I don't understand. I don't know why you're quoting me there, regular. I can't possibly imagine. Right. Okay. As I say, if only I knew somewhere where I could get some iron. And now make me 8 of those. That's slightly more than I need. Right. Back over here again. Let's get some water in the pipe. This looks like water. This looks like my pipe intake. So I'll take you, and we'll rotate you. I know that you are the right way up already. We'll put you down. Actually, let's put you slightly less underwater than that. Let's not right against the bottom. And let's line you up with the pipe. There it is. Put that there. That looks suitable. Fortunately, my robot seems to be waterproof. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble. A lot of trouble. Right. Bring that up. Bring that across, and never the twain shall meet. No, that's spot on. Bink. And now we have a pipe full of water, and with any luck, we'll have a pipe full of water over here as well. Nope, they didn't meet in the middle. Ah! Oh, for goodness sake. What's the best way to fix this apart from just excavate the entire area away, as I probably should have done in the first place? That pipe looks okay. I mean, there's a pipe there anyway. It's full of water. Okay, so that bit of pipe is fine. I should have just dug a trench. I know this. It would have been... I've missed. There's the pipe. That pipe does not have water in it. Ow. That was a tree falling on my head. This pipe does not have water in it. Okay, from here I'm just going to go through here. Because there's clearly, yes, a gap, just like that. There we go. I mean, now I could fill in all of these holes now. I've got a load of this tropical rainforest, so I could just go, boop. There you go. Nobody'd ever know. See, it's all perfect now. I can fill in, yeah, right. Fine. So now we have water over here. That's a good start. So we still need the gravel. Hole is good serviceability. You always want bigger holes, regular. Such a size queen. All right. Bonk. Down here. Right. So we have a supply of stone going into an elevator here, but that goes straight up to the blast furnace. So we won't be using that. Yeah, I'm not using the orbital hole digger anywhere near anything that I care about, because that's the way you lose things that you care about. So I'm going to need some of this stone, but I can't send it up that lift because it will come out in the wrong place. So let's see. Ideally, where would it come up? I mean, ideally, to be honest, next to this one would be okay. I could run it over this wall, but a bit further over. Maybe it's around about... Where am I? 775, 780-ish. Land on a pylon. Well done. Alright, so we'll knock out a couple of pieces from here. Really? Really? Why have I got so much junk that I don't care about? I definitely don't want 18 bags of cement. Or... And there's a lot of stuff in here that I don't really want, but a lot of it's quite expensive, and so I feel bad about destroying it like that. Take out a couple of pieces of that, and then I would like to have a splitter, which is one of these guys, and a ramp, which is one of these, and then some belt, which is a few of these. Then we can go down again like that, and then I said what, 770, didn't I? 775. Let's go to here, and then I'll get out my lasermatron 3x3. Oh, I'm going to need power over here as well, so I'm going to need to dig a trench. And I'm going to put in the most ludicrously overspec... Oh, no, actually, no, I've got some freight elevator 2s. Okay, I will use one of those. Because putting in a freight elevator 4 for this would have been absolutely ludicrous. I mean, I know no such thing as overkill, only open fire and time to reload. But making one of the first places I use an elevator 4 down here would be a bit over the top. Right, so I'll do that to there. And then I can fill in this gap with foundation. And this should mean I then get power over here. Like so. And can put in an inserter like that. Yes, there we go. That's worked. Great. Now I need to fly back up out of the hole. Zoop, like this. And then I'll find it's come out exactly where the pipe was. What are the odds? Pretty good, apparently. I mean, that is... I'm going to go back down. I'm going to move it across one, because that's nonsense. That's utter nonsense. Can I select? No, I can't. I'm going to put my freight elevator 2 top part. Oh, it's not going to let me do that because there's a one already there. Okay, fine. That makes sense, really. You would 99% of the time, you would want it to snap to the existing one. Right, so if I come back over here, I can pull that out, and I can laze another bit more, a little bit more hole here. Boom. Then I can fit the sodding elevator. No, I do actually want you to be a bottom. Don't quote me on that. There we go. And now I can go back up again. Was that sufficient making the hole bigger to satisfy you, regular? And then you need to be at top. Boom. There we go. Now we have stone. Of course, I should have made that slightly higher. Let's make that slightly higher. Because then I can just have everything a little bit higher above the ground. Put some foundation in here, and it needs to be one higher than that. Yeah, do it right, Laurence. Occasionally. Right, take 3 and action. No, what the hell? No, put it. Rage noises. Just put it where. Do what I mean, not what I. Just do what I mean. Put it there. Right, finally, and then let's get rid of all this. But in the interest of... Actually, no, I can put in my foundation over here. So I'll extend from over here. We'll have some foundation come in. Zoop, like this. Because we're going to need to power the inserter that unloads this. And then we're going to have a load of machines along here that are going to do the obliterating of the stone. Look at that. Why is there a plant? Go away. Fill in the gap. Then, over here, unload. Boom. Toggle. There we go. And we have a belt in here, like so. Then we have crushers, which are fairly small machines as far as I remember. That's this guy. You don't need very many of these. They are pretty quick. A couple of those. Stop pressing escape, Laurence. This is not Factorio. This is my biggest problem with playing both of these games in sort of quick succession with each other is that I get confused about the keyboard shortcuts between the two, and end up pressing the wrong buttons to do things in both games, which is mildly upsetting. But oh well. Right, that was going to come over to here and into there, like that. So there's my gravel, or at least it will be once I've told these machines what I want them to do, other than just sit there like a lemon. It's funny how... Oh, I haven't got any stone coming out. That's also funny. I'll have to investigate that in a moment. It's funny how some machines are perfectly happy to be... Oh, there we go. The stone is coming through now. It must have just taken a while to get up the lift. It's funny how some machines are happy to just make blatant, obvious assumptions about what you want them to do. Like, a crusher will take in... a smelter will take in iron ore and produce iron. But a crusher, you need to tell it what to do. And I believe it's because the crusher can also take in two separate types of iron, two separate ores, and make a combined thing out of them. So it does kind of need to know. Right. Why are you not happy? He says it makes a very loud noise at him. You are happy. You're running. Great success. So that should now mean we are... Yes, we're actually making concrete at this point. Right, and this uses 16 gravels per minute. And these produce 60 gravels per minute. So that's almost 4. For each one of these, I can run almost 4 of these. And these do seem to be the... Were these the slowest link? No, I think it was these ones that were the really slow part. So I'm going to need to put in a lot of chemical plants. And then about half as many... This does 8 a minute, and this does what this was 5 a minute. Okay, so it's about 2 of these to every one of these. So let's get copying. So if I copy from Why have you got a belt? You don't do it. That doesn't do anything. Right. So if I copy from here. Oh no, I need to select an area. Right. If I copy from here to here to here, but I then do a Alt drag. I'll push the bottom down one. I think. Has that gone down? I can't really tell. I think it should do. Seems about right anyway. So let's do that. And then we can do a copy in place. And then I think I should be able to, if I press the right buttons, should be able to. Yeah, there we go. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that up, and I need to do a clear demolish decor, confirm paste. Is that all happy? Got goop going all the way along here. Yeah, yes, all of the machines are running. Excellent. That's a good sign. So that's 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair. So I need another 2 of these. So let's get the copy system back up again, and this time I want to select a new area. I want to go from there to there to there, and then I want to lower this a bit. Oh, it's pushing the bottom out, I see. Well, that'll be fine then. And then I can do a confirm copy in place, and I want to have 3 of those in total, so I can do that, and then paste. And that should be a quantity of concrete. So now I run this belt from here, about a bajillion miles, and then run it down the hole that's way over here where the iron's going. So I wanted to go in. Yes, I wanted to go in this vacant slot over here. So if I bring it in like this, I can then drop down here and go, what's going on? And here we're going to put in some downwards ramps. Typical, they won't quite fit where I was going to put them. Okay, well, I don't want to downgrade the ramp. Stop it. Stop trying to downgrade the ramp. This also be a down ramp. So I want you parallel to that. Yeah, that looks right. Yes. So go down, yeah, go all the way down. Or as much as possible. And then can we just continue? Yes, will you kindly allow me to just run a stupidly long ramp? Nope, I've run out of ramps. Have I got more of the green ones? We'll check at some point. I might just upgrade underground to green because it's the easiest way to do it. Oh, no, right. And that goes in here and then goes up to, oh, it only needs to go up 1. And then we bring this belt in like that, and then that. Right. Concrete is being made fairly quick. Oh, it's emptying the buffer out from that machine. Okay, but still, that is a decent flow of concrete. It's what we would call a good start. If I come down here, I can continue this ramp. At least until I run out of pieces for it. Can we? No, don't put it. What? I don't even. Right. Try again. Yeah, so that goes there like that. And, alright, let's switch over to faster ramps. Let's just make the whole thing green from here on, because why not? Everything else is. So I can link that onto that. Oh, conveniently, I've already got a belt going through here. So that is my concrete, and I sincerely hope the other end of this belt expects that to also be concrete. So let's go and find out. Yes, absolutely, Board Easy. Yes, standardized interfaces are very nice. And I feel that with Factorio being the original and best factory game, every other factory game should try and replicate its control structure as much as possible. Just because everybody who's I suspect virtually everybody who plays, say, Foundry is going to come to it from having already played Factorio. Right, where does concrete? Where does concrete? Right, concrete's here. So we have a supply of concrete. Right, so what I ideally want is I want to find the end of this, where this belt goes like that. Basically, I just want to bring in concrete from down here and drop it onto this belt as well. So let's do a regular's favourite thing and enlarge a hole a little bit and go down and have a look around. There we go. I was going to say that was easy. It was only fairly easy. It's still very bumpy head down here. So, what I want to do is I want to bring in the concrete here and then split it and have half of it go up there and half of it go off down that way to wherever it's actually needed. So, let's... If I just go this way, then can I get to here and put in a lift? Maybe. It's going to be a ludicrously fast lift, because that's all I have in my pockets, but never mind. I don't think that's actually a serious problem. Infrastructure is very, very cheap in these games. That's one thing that I've learned from all my Factorioing, is there's no real point in trying to save on infrastructure, because compared to the cost of science packs and everything else that's going on, building up a piece of infrastructure is insignificant. Or in this game, the equivalent will be the robots that you make for sale. Compared to the cost of producing the steady stream of robots, accidentally using an overly powerful lift here makes no difference whatsoever. Right, so we do that. Oh, I'm going to need power here. Oh, it's going to be a pain. Why can't lifts transfer power, or why just why? And also how? How am I going to get power to here? I don't really know. That's going to be fun. I could put in a solar panel. Do you think they work underground? Or is that a bit too gross even by our standards? Right, so yeah, we're going to use a freight elevator 4. First one I've used, actually. That's going to be a top part there. And we're at 4777. Okay, let's go for 40. Yeah, 4777. Let's go and find 4777, and then think about power, because I'm going to need some there. Hey, there's a pre-made hole here. What's going on? Curiouser and curiouser, said Alice. How did I get up here? I'm very confused. How did I get out? Let's go back in. Let's go back in the Mario tube. Yeah. Rule 1. Ignore rule 1. Right. Okay. I've got some concrete. That's a good start. Hang on, what's that? Where did I say I wanted to come out? It was... Yeah, it's back there. It was 77, wasn't it? No, 77 the other way. Oh, I've forgotten. But it's about here, according to the map. Yeah, go through here. If I tunnel through here, all will probably be well. Probably. Hopefully I'll hit the... Right, there we go. Which corner of it have I hit? That corner. Okay, so we need to go... Well, we obviously need to go this way. A bit further to get the other corner. And then this way. And then I'll do another one because I did pummel a hole through somewhere. Oh, I don't know. Right, anyway, let's put in the bottom of the freight elevator here. And then worry about all the rest of our problems like power later. Well, I suppose I can worry about the power down here first. Right, so that's going to come across there like this. And then we're going to have... Oh, I don't even have any of the... I don't even carry the small transformers around with me anymore. And I've only got one of the big ones. So this is going to be interesting. It's a shame you can't get high voltage inserters just for those rare occasions like this when you actually need one. Right, so what I'm going to need to do here is hollow out a space big enough for one of the giant oh no, I do have a small transformer. Excellent. That's really handy. That's 2x2x2. So if I use a 3x3 like that, then I can fill in this whole area with that stuff. There we go. And I can put in that miniature transformer tucked away in the corner like this. Okay, we'll take out a bit more terrain from on top of here because that looks ridiculous. And of course the cable connection is on the opposite side of it because why wouldn't it be? There we go. Hum, hum, hum. Then over here we put in our inserter like so. And then we cut the belt. Belt. You go up. Then go across. Then go down. And go in there. Just like that. Suddenly concrete. I am going to end up with a load of concrete in my pockets, but oh well. Right, so that's my concrete. Oh, you should be an input. Boop. There we go, that's flowing in there nicely. Now I just need a way of getting it out again, which is going to be slightly tricky. So what I'm going to do is apparently follow this tunnel. I don't know why I'm going to follow this tunnel. Right, what I'm going to do is jet out here because there is an exit here, and we'll try and remember about this one. I suppose I should put in another Mario pipe thing around it, shouldn't I? Then I'll actually have a chance of finding it again in the future. So let's get out some stone and do a... No. Do that and that. There we go. Now I might spot that again in the future. So, meanwhile in the past, well, meanwhile in the concrete, yes, we're going down here. So fall in here. Then we've got, down at the end of this tunnel, we've got an elevator that is rapidly filling up with concrete. We just can't get it out. So what I'm going to do is drop down here. Pummel, 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 pummel. All the way down to the bottom of the elevator, and then I'll bring some conductor up with me. Hello? Right, there we go. Oh, no, I'm still too high. There we go. Right, bring that across here, and here, and then we switch over to vertical drag mode, and up we go. Hopefully. Or not, as the case may be. Or we do it like this because for some reason it wasn't working. Oh, come on. Am I up? Oh, I'm up. There and there, just for completeness sake. Right, get that back out of vertical mode before it drives me mad next time. Then I can put in my exerter here, and you are an exerter. I really need to change how this is set up in the future. Then we'll bring a green belt out of here like this to about here. I need to do a little bit more of hollowing out of the rocks, but then I can take out that. In fact, I need to take out this entire ramp up here. The whole thing is going to be going in the wrong direction. And it's a little bit of a shame that, unlike a certain other game I could mention, you can't turn belts round once they've been placed. I would like to see that, but c'est la vie, you can't have everything. All right, so that can then go from there and up there like that. There we go. Boom, concrete. Just like that. I said just like that, as if it didn't take me half an hour to get it working. Then up here, that flows to here. Okay, fine. We'll remove that. And then put in that and that. The question is this going to be enough concrete? The fact that this was a green belt beforehand worries me a bit. We must have been producing concrete at a heck of a rate over here. I guess we'll find out as we go. So, the whole reason I did all of that was because for the furnace tower bases, I needed mumble 100 concrete. I think it was like 400, 600 concrete, something like that. And that's basically all my concrete is concreted through now. Let's go and drop off what I've got so far and check the numbers again. Yes, yeah, saving space for later is an excellent plan and one I'm not very good at, and I will unhappily admit it. Right, here you go. Have some concrete. Okay, so we've got one hot air stone base coming through, and we've got 6 pieces towards the next one. Well, that's a start, I suppose. We at least have some. Hooray! We just need like twice as much again. Fortunately, I don't have to go out and do the whole building process again and tunneling process again. Unfortunately, there's not very much coming through, so I clearly need to go over and speed up production of concrete over there. I was sort of expecting this. Okay, I haven't put in that many machines. I probably need more chemical plants and blast furnaces by now. No, chemical plants and casting machines. Those are the ones that I'm continually a bit short of, so let's get some more of those. Casting machines are pipe intake, lava smelter, freighter vote, casting machine. There we go. Of course, it's in the green one. I should remember that. Gimme. Chemical processors. Gimme. And was there anything else? Oh, crushers. Yes, I used my last crushers. I don't expect to need more crushers for that, but I expect to need more crushers sooner or later. And they only come in 10s, so, you know, it makes sense to get more. Get them whenever I get the opportunity. Okay, let's go and make more concrete, because that seems to be the current shortage. I guess if I go off and make a copper blast furnace, then I can have twice as much concrete potential, because I'll have both blast furnaces producing concrete. That is as long as I can find some stone over there, which I'm going to need stone over there in order to feed the blast furnace, assuming the recipe is basically the same as the iron one. And coal as well, come to think of it. I think there was coal over there. Running out of coal is going to be the my number one worry with these things, I think. Alright, so that is producing some concrete. The cement is backing up slightly, but only slightly. I think I might as well put in another one of these machines anyway, just like that, because it's easy. So if I do that, and then over here, I reckon I can... I could probably only put in one more of those. Then I could put in some. I could put in a load down the other side over here. Run the pipe around the outside. That would work. Yeah, okay, so let's put in one more and then 3 more. Like that. And then over here, more copy pasting. Let us select an area. I would like to select from there to there. And this time, I will do a copy rather than a copy in place. So I'm going to copy it. I do want to put one here. Don't get me wrong. said I do want to put one here, like that. But then I want to mirror it. Am I short of something here? Yes, I've run out of conveyor 2s. Yellow belts. Okay, well actually what we're going to do over here is we're going to upgrade this to green belts, because it's green most of the way along it anyway, so it might as well just be green for the whole thing. Then we can do this and we can actually finish this paste off. There we go, like, look at that. Except missing building. How can it be missing building foundation? Oh, there's a rock sticking up in there. Right, so if we go back in here, if we clear out decor and then confirm the paste, then it works. Excellent. You should now be a happy bunny. I said you should now be a... Oh yeah, there we go, it's a happy bunny. Right, next, I want to move this over to here. I could put it here, I suppose. I wanted to mirror it. I thought you could... I know this allows you to mirror somewhere, somehow, but it might be it only allows you to mirror during the copying process. Okay, well, we'll have it like this, then. I mean, it doesn't matter which way round it is. I want to go all the way to here. And so in order to do so, we're going to need to... we'll definitely want to remove decor, and we want to remove any buildings, and then we want to place it. And that's done. Nice. I do like a good copy-paste system. I don't know if I've said. Oh, and then over here, actually, that lines up perfectly with this pipe system here, so I can just do that, that, and that, and boom, doubled. It's feeding... I was feeding the cement along the wrong way. I should have known it wouldn't be so easy. Okay, we'll turn this belt round. So that's from there to there to there. Oh, for goodness sake! I want to. But yeah, it's all going wrong. That goes along there. Inventory's full. What have I got too much? I've got some seeds. Let's get rid of those. I don't want seeds. I want to use those. Go and spend those rather than just holding on to them. I don't want mineral rocks. I'm never going to use them. Right, now let's try that again with less fail. So I want to remove that. There's one under there as well, which I need to remove. And there. And there. And there. And there. And then I can switch over to this tool again and go from there all the way up to here. Knock out all of that. Then I can get out my belts from over here and go from there to here and to here. Right, there we go. Now we've got a bit more cement being made, pouring out over here. There we go. And now it'll flow around here and we can start making some more concrete. Hopefully about twice as much as we were. Oh no, I need some more this through here. Do I have enough? Yes. And I said those were capable of dealing with almost 4 each. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're fine. Not by an enormous amount, but they are fine. And we should, sooner or later... Oh, belt over here as well. That should have been part of the other paste, but it apparently wasn't. There we go. Feed that through all the way through here. And now... hopefully everything should be happy. And we're backing up on cement again. But... and we're backing up on stone. I think that means I just put in another one of these machines, to be honest. Because there's still not a huge amount of concrete going through. Belt suspenders. You mean I need to put in both of them? That might help. You never know. It says select area. Shouldn't that be select volume? I suppose I'm selecting area at that point, and now I'm selecting a volume. Right, and copy and place. Let's put in another 2. I think that, no, let's put in another. Yeah, I think that should be more than we have the throughput for. That should use up all of the cement. But I'm sort of okay with that. I'm okay with having a couple of machines that aren't working at absolute full whack. As long as it means all of my machines that are working at some whack are working at the as long as I'm getting through as much as I reasonably can, basically. Is that enough? No, I'm still a few pieces short. Okay, we'll fill in with green belts in a few strategic places like that. Okay, that is quite a lot of concrete being made, I think. I wish I'd made a note of how many machines I have making the concrete back in the old place where they're being made from in the traditional way of digging, actually just digging stone out of the ground. Because the number of the number of casting machines making the concrete blocks would have told me how fast I was making them before, and therefore whether this is now going to be making them at the same rate or whether there's going to be a problem. What have we run out of slag? Yes. Okay. That got churned through a bit more quickly than I was expecting. I guess because, yeah, we've got oodles and oodles of input and we've got quite a lot of output. So we're just not using the iron up fast enough, essentially. One of the things I do want to do is copy this and put in another copy of it over here on the opposite side. So we've got 4 belts of iron coming out. That said, I feel that would be overkill, given that these are not running. Neither of these are running solidly. So we clearly have plenty of iron over in the factory for what we need at the moment. But this system does have the capacity to to work with twice what we're seeing at the moment. To output twice what we're seeing at the moment. Right. My next question is blast furnace related. Oh, there's no useful help for blast furnace. This is the what are you? Oh, an irrigation tool, of course. I can look in here, and there is some information on the blast furnace systems. It's in modular build. No, that's just modular buildings in general. Buildings and machines, blast furnaces. Right. Okay. So I'm going to need once again the metal ore, the coal, and the stone in order to get a copper blast furnace up and running. So we've got actually this isn't too bad. We've got the metal ore coming out here in plentiful quantities. We've got coal and stone just over here. That's really convenient. And we've got water available in order to make the cement concrete out afterwards. So, and then there's additional stone and coal available over here in suitable quantities. So I think this is going to be a really good place to have a copper blast furnace, even if I am then going to need a ludicrously long tunnel to get it back to where it's supposed to be. I think it's now time to head back over to the main factory area. The question is, do I run along the belt here, collecting as much concrete as I can as I go through? And I think I probably do, because I am going to need that. Yeah, I need to start using more iron and copper up so that I can get more waste products out, because that's the valuable part. Jeez, these belts are so quick that I can only just run faster than them. Oh, I can fly a lot faster though, but I can't fly low enough to snatch the concrete off the belt. Or alternatively, no, it's not my inventory's fault. Alright. I'm sort of hoping that I'll see it starting to back up along the belt as I fly down here. I don't think it is, because I'm pretty sure we're using it faster than we're making it. And even if we weren't, I'm pretty sure we'd be filling up a lot of buffers as well. So I think I'm not going to have as much concrete. Oh, actually, maybe if I... Bump. Maybe if I fly off and go over to the robot production area, I'll be able to get some concrete from there, because we won't be using it quite as quickly and over there, because why would we be? Who makes robot out of concrete? That's a silly idea. In the meantime, let's come back over here and unload a bit. Got plenty of iron, though, which is makes a nice change. Right, have some of this. Okay, I've got enough for another one. So there we go. I've got 2 out of my 3 cookery towers now. Hot air towers. That's not what they're called, but it's close enough. If you were a concrete block, where would you be? I don't think I am putting them into robots. They're just coming up, popping up somewhere around here and going into... Yes, here. Here they come. At a rate of red. And they're being used up at a rate, probably at a rate of more than red, which is why there's none on the belt. Oops, here. How many of these did I need? It was like 100, wasn't it? This may take a while at this point. I should go back to the other end of the factory, where they come through a bit more quickly. Ugh. I'll drop these ones off while on the way past. And it won't do any good because it won't be enough to build another hot air furnace thing. Although if it is 100, I need another 26. I'm nearly there. Red shouldn't be a belt colour, as red means stop. I don't know. I tend to think of red belts as being the second tier because Factorio. You'll notice a bit of a theme here that I just sort of assume the Factorio way all the time. So I expect it to go yellow, red, blue, green. So having it go red, yellow, green, blue, purple. I don't know. I can't remember what the tier 5 belts are, tier 4 belts are, but it's different anyway, and therefore very confusing. No, not that. Here. Red practically does mean stop because it is the slowest of the belt colours in this game. So, yeah, it goes red, yellow, green. So it's kind of traffic lighty. That actually sort of makes sense. And then presumably they decided they wanted another tier after that. That's still not. Oh no, I've not got any steel left. I've got some steel in here though. Take a couple of steels. Steal that. Boop. There we go. Right, so that's my third hot air stove base that I'm going to need for this whole shenanigan-a-ran-a-rannery. And then I'm going to need the actual blast furnace base. So we'll change recipe here, and we would like to make a blasted furnace base, which is 600 concrete. Ermagerd. That's horrific. Oh, and I haven't got enough inventory space to actually pick up all the junk that's in this machine in order to change recipes. We'll throw that away. Throw that away. Put those into the container. Those in the container. That in the container. There was some iron as well. Throw that away. 100 is probably enough biomass to be carrying around with me. I'm going to throw that away because there's only 5 left in that stack. New pump jack, research servers. Why have I got all this stuff? Small smelters. Ugh. Oh, of course, yes, I know why I've got those. Change recipe. Make me a blast furnace base. Take all of my stuff. Okay, we've got circuits in here. I know we have. So take all those and give them to the machine. Okay, it still needs more circuits. Gosh. Okay. Probably needs more steel, more of that, and I don't know what else it's going to need, but we'll dump all this in. Okay, so we've got enough. I wish it would tell you what the requirements were on here. So say I've got 30 out of 6. Okay, that one's 600. Steel, I don't even remember for any of the others. 600 steel, 300 advanced parts, and 200 circuit boards. So we've got everything else we need. We just need a little bit more steel, which I've got here. And then in it 600, well, 570 concrete. That's horrific. If you were 570 concrete, oh, I can't go and pull that off at the end of a belt. It'll take forever. How are we doing over here for concrete, by the way? Oh, well. That well. Good. Obviously, it's because somebody keeps coming along and stealing it all. Thing is, ideally, I come along, I grab it out of this elevator, but it doesn't go there. I suppose yes, technically, I could do the maths. I'm not going to do the maths, but it is a thing that is theoretically possible. I would put the research server down. Why is there no concrete? Oh, there's no concrete coming through now because we've run out of slag. I assume. Yeah, there just isn't any coming through now. Why is nothing easy? Let's go and check that I've been assuming the reason that the concrete has stopped is because that patch of stone has run out. Let's go and check that is actually the case. So that means I need to go down in this lift, down to the mineral rock area, which I don't think is actually a mineral rock area anymore. But we'll go down and check it out anyway, just in case. Ding. Can we not get stuck on the wall, please? Thank you. Okay, there is a little bit of mineral rock here, but there is not very much, and it is getting very, very slowly mined up. These guys have already been upgraded to the tier 2 mining drills, so they've reached out as far as they can. I don't think it's worth doing anything else over here. We're not going to... I don't even know if we get 600 mineral rock out of here. Oh, I suppose what I could do is I could go along here and I could go... Gimme. 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 And that's it. I get that much. And we can go and feed that into the machines that are making concrete down here. Well, not down here, but up there. And maybe be able to claim a bit from there. See how that goes. Easy button in the other game? You mean the Factorio shortcut for something? Yeah, oh, look, a couple of pieces of concrete came through. Gosh, isn't that fun? Right, so over here, it's stone comes up. Right, so we've got plenty of cement. Oh no, we've made plenty of cement. It's over here where we don't have any gravel that's the problem. So dump a load in here like this. I think that was the lot. Oh. That's the lot. Little onions, that's your lot. And then that can pour out here and go into the base. Just go into the first machine. Okay, so how many machines making oh, I have a lot of machines here making concrete. No wonder it couldn't keep up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Whilst making the concrete from the slag is going to take a little bit of the edge off, and it's certainly going to reduce the amount of iron ore we're getting through for it, and it's going to reduce the amount of mineral rock we get through here. So it's better. It's not going to replace this system. We're still going to need more stone for this. And there isn't a good patch nearby. There's that one, but that's miles away. There's that one that's miles away. Well, that one, but I've tapped that for glass. I don't really want to start turning it into concrete. This is awkward. What I need, what I want at this point is for them to finish off implementing trains so that I can just transport a large quantity of stone from, or maybe, no, make concrete somewhere and then just transport it and do basically play the game like Factorio. At the moment, I'm trying to play it like Satisfactory, and that's not as good. How many was that? That was 76. That's roughly 10% of what I need. Now, the gravel is still coming out, so that's not the end of my production. We've not got through that much of it yet. I think this is going to the amount of gravel I'm producing here is going to give me enough concrete that, assuming this cement doesn't run out, it's going to give me enough concrete that I can go and finish that blast furnace. Thank goodness. However, we also need quite a lot of concrete in order to actually make the buildings after I've gone in and said, here, put this building there, because we're going to have the little drone guys flying out from the drone bases over in here somewhere, and then flying out to try and build the buildings. And they operate off space station construction material, which is being made in here from concrete. So that's the problem. I haven't seen, I haven't tapped a frackable stone patch. There's one up there. That's talexite. That's coal. A couple of coal ones over here. That's vaguely worth knowing about. Yeah, so they exist, but they're not exactly handy. That's talexite. I've seen all of one so far. Oh no, there's another one. I've seen two, and they're both way off in the northwest. So yes, they do exist. We could potentially go out and tap this one because it's closer. It's a very, very long way though. I've been getting a little more blasé with mark belts in this game, but I feel like there might be a limit to my sanity. Where's your control panel? There it is. Gimme. 26, that's pathetic. Or is that just how far it fills up to? This is actually harder than just standing at the end of the belt holding down the E key. I'm not doing buying it from the market because that feels like, I'm not going to say it feels like cheating, but it feels like not the way I like to play this sort of game. Air freight feels silly, but it is certainly, it's possible. I don't know how much you fit in a plane though. And if I'm making it at this sort of rate, is it going to be realistic to bring it over by plane? Is the plane going to have enough bandwidth? I am not sure. It's quite possible it does, and I'm being overly pessimistic about it, but it doesn't feel... It feels wrong, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Oh, I've got nearly halfway to the concrete, though, which is a start. So, yeah. The other question is, do I just do a straight copy-paste of this mine over here? Of this whole system, rather. I think I probably do. Paste it in over here and then try and link everything up to it. Is a plane 15 stacks? I honestly don't know. That sounds about right, though. Let's see if the... Yeah, the coal plane is here. And bringing coal in by plane just feels weird and wrong. 2, 4, 6... It's only 10 stacks. And when I've got a green belt... Well, that said, I've got a green belt of the coal going out, and that's... Although it's not running solidly. When I've basically got a green belt of concrete pouring into science production, I feel that bringing it over by aeroplane is not going to go all that well. Also, transporting coal around by transporting coal as well, but transporting concrete around by aeroplane just sounds wrong. If we run... No, they are still chugging away. Okay. Oh, there's a couple. Yeah, missed them. No, I got one of them. So there is some concrete coming through from the iron smeltery. There they are, like that. It's just not very much of it, and the supply is a bit pathetic. Now, maybe as I start producing more and more, start using more and more iron, we'll get through more of this as well. And maybe if as I stop doing science, we won't need as much of it for science, and therefore it'll all be able to go into other things. But it's not really the sort of thing I quite want to bet and gamble and stuff on. So, yeah, going off. It may be that going off and doing vein mining of this patch up here is the thing to do, and then with all of these massive tunnels I've got running around under here, I could have another belt that is just bringing stone through and feeding it in a green belt of stone, and then feed it into this concrete production system that I've already got. Or probably better, I assume it's going to take more stone to make concrete than you get out in concretes. The concrete is 2 cement and 4 gravel. A cement is 2 mineral rocks. So it's 4 mineral rocks and 2 gravel. Yeah, so it's about 6 mineral rock going to 1 concrete. So it's better to make the concrete on site and then ship it from there, so you can get more trundling through. Yeah, waiting for the train update might be the easiest way. Yeah, because I do feel that at some point I'm going to want to convert these long distance transport things into trains, because that's how you do these sort of games, or at least it's how I do these sort of games. And yeah, I'm probably going to have an underground system where I'm sort of envisioning going in and replacing this tunnel of belt with a railway line, or perhaps running another one along next to it and then moving it over, or having maybe height 120 will be my underground railway or something like that. As it is, height 89 is my these massive underground ducts that are carrying all kinds of stuff around. So I could do a similar thing for a massive underground railway. And then have elevators taking the stuff out in and out wherever it's produced. That seems reasonable to me. It depends how big the trains are, of course. But I'm imagining they'll probably be fit in a 5x5 tunnel, because that's what the boring machine will dig, and the two would synergise quite nicely together if they work together. Oh, I agree. Yes, I agree. Actually, Board Easy. Yeah, that's something I was saying in one of my Foundry videos. Is that I feel that the robots should have some sort of actual consequence, some use around the factory. So, for example, the maintenance drone should be able to go out and, I don't know, I was going to say repair machines, but I don't want damage on machines. Maybe they're the ones perhaps that go out and build the machines, which you already have. They already are. So that's the one place where that's happened. Planter drones, you could have them planting trees if there was an organic thing in there. Transport bots would move things around in some way. Snack bots, I've no idea. Screen bots, no idea. Yada yada. Science assistant drones, maybe you need those to make an advanced science lab or something like that. Mining drones, when you start off, you should have a miniature version of the ore vein miner with this little rail thing that pokes out, and you have to move them sometimes. But then once you start making mining drones, you can then go on and make the drone miners. Combat drones would be something you'd use if you had any sort of combat in the game, which I sort of hope they don't add, but they probably will at some point. They always seem to. Heavy-duty transport bots could transport more stuff around. Vacuum bot, cleaning bot, who knows? Farmer, you get the idea. But yes, I feel at least some of these you should be able to then bring them out and use them around the factory, because it feels like it just makes sense that your more advanced tech should use the more advanced tech that you're building and selling. 580, nearly there. I need another 20 concretes. So 6 or 8, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Any more coming up here? No. Can we use some more iron, please? That seems to be how we're getting through all of our, or how we're making more slag and therefore making more metal, make more concrete. 4 more, nearly there. Oh, here they come. Right, that is now enough to go and make that blast furnace base. I'm going to put these down. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to do a massive copy of the current iron blast furnace, because I think the design is basically okay, apart from the fact that I've screwed up one of the air vents. Coop. There we go. So I'll copy and paste that. And then I'll go in and, I suppose, remove all the bits and pieces, and then I'll let them start building, and then I'll worry about concrete being the problem that it is. Right. Okay. So that should be everything I need. Let's put the excess stuff that I don't need back in concrete and steel and circuits, and that's it. I think that's it. Right, so let's go and do the biggest copy-paste ever. Also the longest flight ever, but almost. Doopy-doopy-doo. And also, while I'm over there, I can set the boring machine making the tunnel to go off and link up to all the other all the other massive underground ducting transport systemy things. Try and get them to meet nicely. Alright, here is my blast furnace. So I'm just going to take the entire thing from here to... It's not going to let me take the whole thing, is it? It's going to be too big. Oh no, it is. Wow, I'm impressed. I was expecting it to be a range of about 30 to 40, like so many of the other things are. Right, if I go out to about here, and then up to about here, like that, that is now my entire blast furnace. I missed out one of these things, that's fine. I'll tidy. I can tidy that. I can do a bit of tidying up if necessary, but I wanted to get the important main bits of it like this. Oh yeah, I'm sure there'll be some paste lag, but that's fine. Confirm copy. Whoop. And now we'll close that. Yeah, I've just bought a new faster CPU. I might as well give it a bit of stress. That's what it's for, right? Might as well give it a workout and try and see. And to be honest, it's a single player game, so I don't even need to give a Mark style warning before I paste in an obscenely large thing. So I'm going to fly over this way. I'm going to drop down one of my Mario pipes and check that one in particular, and check where I am. And from that, and make a note of my coordinates, because then I can try and send the boring machine off in the right place. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. For goodness sake. Why is it so hard to fall down a hole? Seriously? There we go, at last. Right. So the very end, 1, 2, 3, is at... No, don't want to write on that. Yeah, I can write on this. Well, at least I could have had a pen. Right, here we go. I don't know where to write. So I've written too many numbers all over this piece of paper already, so I don't know what's where. Right, I am at 1186.89. 1186.89. And the important one of those is this way. So this is due south, is the second number, so that goes down. Okay. So ideally I want to be at 11 something 89 when I set the digging going. Thank you, Board Easy. I have also written it on a piece of actual dead tree, so that will hopefully also work. The other thing is I may not actually set the boring machine off today because it might have too far to go. Copper vein, that way. Random spaceport in the middle of nowhere. I say it's not actually in the middle of nowhere. It's just at the end of one of my construction assembly lines, so it feels middle of nowhere. This is a long old flight. I hope someone packed an in-flight snack because I'm getting hungry. Right, so there's the copper vein. There's no point in getting close to, but there's no point in building close to this. I will probably run, in fact no, I will definitely run a copper belt over to here in order to give this the copper that it needs, but there's no point in running over there just yet. So what I want to do now is paste this in. So what have we got? Right, those are the smelters. So looking at this, on the right hand side we've got the air intakes, then the air heaters, then the blast furnace. So I kind of like to have they're the elevators over on the right hand side now. I think it doesn't really matter which way around I put it in. Let's put it in like this. It's going to be a long old underground. No, let's put it in like this. And I'll probably move the slag processing. I'd like to flip it, but I can't at this point, I don't think. Right, you know what? Actually, let's just put it down there, and then fly around and decide if this is sensible. Because I can move after I placed it. I can still move it. And I think it is. It's not interfering with anything too much. Do I want to embed it a little bit more in the ground? I think I do. Yeah, let's not have it floating quite so far above the ground. Let's bring it down, bonk, 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 to there. Then I can go in here. I can do a demolish terrain, demolish decor. There's nothing else to be demolished. Confirm paste. And there we go. I didn't actually notice any lag. I am short of 3,000 building block foundations, 2 chemical processors, 1 loader, and 1 conveyor 3. Everything, and 7 casting machines. Everything else has gone in. That's quite impressive. Can we do another remove decor? Because there are some trees in the way there. I might have been too far away and it just couldn't find what it was supposed to be doing. There's still some things that are... In fact, that's everything except the building blocks and the casting machines. That's amazing. Oops. Have I just demolished what I wanted to build? I think I have. Confirm paste. Right, so I'm just 7 casting machines short. There's 5 things are blocked somewhere. Oh, right, over here. Yeah, okay. That's fine. My belts to take all these things away. These are all going to be mostly going to be going into elevators anyway, so that's okay. I don't care about them being problematic. All of this has gone together. We're missing a few casting machines. Ah, it hasn't put these bases in, perhaps because we haven't got the foundation for them, and perhaps because you can't just magic paste in giant buildings. You have to do them properly. Okay, right, so let's go off, get another 3,000 or 4,000 foundation, and come back, and then see how we go from there. Yeah, the copy-paste in this game is amazing. To be honest, it's actually too powerful. I think. Well, yeah, it's too powerful. I think you should, because you can build so much just like that. I feel it almost needs to be spec'd and then build gradually. I'm not sure exactly. So Factorio slows it down by having the construction bots have to fly out and build it for you, or having your own personal construction bots go out and build it. That I think is a reasonable way. Satisfactory complicates it by sucking in general and just only allowing you to copy and paste tiny amounts of stuff at a time. Yeah, so there are various different ways that you can make things. You can make it a little bit more difficult, and I feel it actually, much as I hate to sort of imply that I want things to be a bit harder. I think things need to be a little bit harder because it's a bit. Although that said, when you built something as big as that and then you copy paste it, is there really any significant downside to having to build it up again? I've also got is there any point in having to wait? Because you've already done the hard part. I don't know. It's casting machines. So yeah, it's certainly satisfying, and just being able to having a really effective copy paste system like that is quite good. Yeah, exactly. It's easy enough that you need a. Placing of copy buildings should be limited to radius around the player. Maybe. So a bit like when you're doing the mining with with your personal mining drones sort of thing. That makes a certain amount of sense. Yeah. So, but then doing a paste would just be put the thing down and then fly in circles around it, hammering on the paste button until it all goes down. I'm not sure that's any better, really. My elevators. The elevators haven't got put in. I've just got the inserters that are supposed to be unloading from them. That's actually okay, because I'd be wanting to upgrade them to freight elevator 4s anyway, but still, it's a bit weird. Right. Confirm paste. Boop. There we go. And we're still at 5 things blocked, but I think that's probably just the... missing 203. What am I missing? Close that. Oh, there's a... I didn't notice there was a scroll. 196 conveyor 2s, 1 tank, 1 small power pole, 3 freight elevators, and air intake base. Oh, sweet! It's actually placed the all the buildings as well. So all of that's gone in. It's just the air intake down there that I'm not going to use. I need to poke one of these and fix it. One of these I didn't do properly. I don't know which one it was. Boop. I think that one's okay. That was the third one I put in. That one's okay. It's got the intake there. Maybe I fixed the. Maybe it was that one that wasn't done properly. Anyway, that is all now there and ready and being built and stuff. I better be able to change this after it's been built to switch it over to be doing copper. Yeah, I think so. It doesn't say copper. It doesn't say iron in here anywhere, so I think that's probably all right. So then over here, that sounds okay. Thank you, regular. Yeah, that makes sense. That fits what I was thinking. So I need to put in and remove that and that and that and place that with a pipe in the right direction like that, and remove that and that because I don't need those. I don't need that. However, I will need to then. Okay, I'll need to connect these up once they're placed, but that's once they're finally built. But that's going to take. That's not going to finish this week. I'm also going to need to run power in from over there, but that doesn't seem like too difficult a thing to do. I'm also going to need to set up mines for all this stuff, and I need a fracking tower. I need to put a fracking tower in on here to get more copper out, and then I need to start putting in the elevators up here in order to get all that stuff through. This is going to take, as I say, it's going to take forever. But that's okay. I've got it started, and that's what matters. Over here, right? What are you guys? Are you all separate? No. The input side points probably don't matter. But if I do that, can it tell me about the... Yeah, it can. Yeah, so the first one is going onto the first elevator goes onto the 2 inserters because that's the one bringing in the metal. So let's go in here and we're going to upgrade to freight elevator 4s. So we'll put you there and let's try that again, but the correct way. So we want a top here, there, and please. Come on. Maybe if you stop trying to snap, it'll work better. Yeah. 2, 3. Right, so there's my 3 elevators. This one needs to bring in copper ore. This one needs to bring in ignitium something. I forget. These need to bring in. These are bringing the 3 supplies anyway. It's processed copper ore, processed coal, and processed and straight up stone. I don't remember exactly what goes in which one, or exactly what I have to do with them, but I'll work it out again later. Over here, we have a supply of stone coming in, and oh yeah, these are all the belts that I've run out of. Fine. I guess I'll upgrade them to be green belts. Why not? So we need more stone coming in over here. It's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah. Yeah, let's whack in a sign here. Copper in some form. There we go. And the other 2 don't matter because they've got 1 each at the top. This whole thing should be self-contained because we're bringing in air, we're heating it up electrically, we don't need a fuel supply, and then we're cooking with, and then we're bringing it all into there. Over here, the slag will happily come out all by itself and go into this tank. I could do with it. Another tank here would be rather nice because otherwise we're not going to get the pipes linked up. But that's something I can worry about in a while when I've actually got everything plugged in and running up and running together. Over here, well, I might as well put in a green belt from here to the outputs. So actually, we want to run that to here and then turn there, and just in case we get massively more slag coming out of the this system. And then we want to bring the stone in here, and I suspect I'll bring the stone up and drop it, pass it out over here as well, in much the same way I have with the other one. So let's put in another one of those, which I won't be able to select from down here because that's too far. So let's put in another freight elevator top here, but one up from that. So I want to get it adjacent to that one, but up one. That. And then we'll have foundation across there. And whatever, piece across there like that, I suppose. And that'll be my supply of stone. Yes, I am having two elevators bringing stone up in much the same way I did with the other one, because otherwise, I don't know if there's a way to do this with only one elevator. I don't think there is. So this is kind of vital. And yeah, it's now just mostly a case of waiting for that to finish building. I've got all my casting machines in over here. I've got the various belts, which are probably going to the wrong places. What even are you? Yeah, you're concrete, so we're going to take you. I don't know where we're going to take you away. Yeah, so a lot of the belts are going to be going to the wrong places, but we'll worry about them later. Otherwise, I think this is largely set up. So there's two more things I need to worry about around here. Well, first is let's go and find the boring machine and get that boring. See if we can send it back off towards the main base, and then we'll head back over to the main base and try and build a fracking tower, because that's going to be fun. I hope the boring machine is around here somewhere. Oh, did I go down even further? Yes, I did. It's probably down here. I should probably make another boring machine, but I'm not going to. There it is. What height are we at here? 52. Okay. Let's see. There's no point in linking up these tunnel systems with the ones that the boring machine is going to be using, is there? Because that's going to be doing the long-range stuff. So we're going to have some tunnels around under here, which I may well put at the sort of the bottom depth, just because I can. What height are these patches at? 70 and 38. Okay, those are really low, so yeah, we might as well. So we have the standard height 89 tunnels going around from here straight out this way until we hit whatever the point is over here, wherever, where we're ready to strike out for the north. And then we'll be putting copper in to go that way. Might as well put green circuits in to go that way. Actually, remove the flight system and maybe let the plastic come the other way down it. Now that I've got that set up, start to use them like a proper train system. Then, yeah, but nothing is. Yeah, there's only going to be the copper ore is going to be coming from here. Oh, actually, yeah, we're going to have the copper ore coming out of here and going into this system as well. But that could almost be its own thing. It could even be up at ground level. Let's go over to here, dig down with the boring machine, and then start the process of digging the tunnels off this way, and then we'll think about what I want to do with the copper later. Yes, exactly. Yeah, elevators are not multi-level, quite right. It's 80, and I need to go across this way until I get to 86. I don't remember for sure whether it's minus 86 or plus 86. Plus 86. Wait, what? But it's minus 11? I'm very confused. Oh yeah, because it's a bit further on than that, isn't it? So it's about here. There's my concrete patch. So it's going to be it's going to be 11 and 86 up and down, uppy downy. So yeah, it's 11 that I need to find. I think, pretty sure. Right, anyway, so from here, yes. So we're not going to build it. We're not going to link these tunnels up direct yet. I might do eventually. But I think for now... Yeah, actually, eventually, yes, I'm going to want all of these. Instead of feeding up to the surface, I'm going to want all of these to feed it down to 86, 89 and bring them over with everything else. So, yes, I am going to want to link everything up together. But I'll come in from the other direction to do it, I think. Or will I? No, that makes no sense at all. We've got everything coming together over here. So I might as well drop down to 86, 89 at this point. And just start my tunnelling from here. Which way am I going? Yeah, if I go north until I get to about here, then go across, and then yeah, go underneath here and just keep going. I'd like to be far enough up that I could those tunnels aren't in the middle of my main tunnel. So right, this means this is a job for the laser. Open this up. Hang on, actually no, this is a job for the laser in small mode first, because presumably if I do that and then touch down. Right, I'm at 89 now. Good. So, take off again. Back over to large. If I shoot there... Yeah, that's the right one. That's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means I've now got room to put in the boring machine. Like that. I can fly into here. And I can... fuel it up with, well, let's burn biomass for now because I've got lots of it. And all right, how far do I want to go? So I want to go to, so assuming I'm standing in the middle of it, well, actually I'm standing at the back of it here, which is 440. No, 876, 875, 874, 3. So the front is at 872. I want to run up to about probably about here, because then we don't need to worry about... We can go over the top of this mineral rock patch, I think, and we don't have to worry about getting in the way of the elevators here. So I want to go to about here, which is 830. So I want to go about... Let's go 40, and then think about what we've done. Horizontally, not turning, go. Okay, so that's going to come up to about here. Then we can strike out of this way. Basically until we hit, what did I say, 11, wasn't it? So we'll want to go another 330. 430. 429, technically. 427? Right, so is that then going to miss this by enough? And yes, I think it is. So that these drills are at 130... 293 and I'm at 400. Yeah, 293 and I'm at 440. Yeah, that's easily room. Okay, in that case we'll turn this way, and then we'll go forever basically, because I want to go to 11 and we're currently at 400. Yeah, so go 300. 400 and change. Go 420. I can always go a bit further once I get there. Go! How much of the fuel did that use up? So we used 12 going 40, so we're going to use 120 going 400. I'll chuck some more in then. So, yeah, there we go. So we'll go straight past the edge of the foundry area here, so the blast furnace area here. I'll keep going then straight past this mineral rock patch. We can. Well, I want to stop and put in some additional mining for this. So maybe I'll just send the boring machine off on its own when we get to there. We'll get some additional mineral rock and ignium mining going on from that, and then we can while the boring machine comes over this way, and then we run the tunnel all the way up here. It's probably going to run into something on this way through the middle of the factory, unfortunately, which is going to be a bit annoying. So maybe actually I should change my mind about that. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to have it come up instead. I'm going to have it come along here and meet up with this. This is at 157 minus 47. 157. So yeah, at 157, I think we'll stop and we'll go up and we'll try and hit these, because there's already some elevators here that are bringing the copper down from the mountain that it's in. This copper smeltery is in. It's being brought down to just under ground level, to be then brought across here in all of these belts to then be dispersed around the rest of the factory. So I think if I bring it up here at 157, 155, 157, somewhere around there, then it's going to fit nicely onto these belts. I think I'm okay with that, and I can squeeze it in as necessary to deal with that. So we actually want to stop this a little bit sooner than I was originally thinking. How are we getting on? Where are we? We are here. Oh blimey, we still haven't even got to the that stone patch. But the stone patch is going to be about where we swing right. So I want to hit here on this line. It's just past the stone patch. Okay, but that's fine. We'll put the stone patch on the inside of the corridor, in the inside of the corner. I'm sort of envisioning eventually these tunnels I'm digging will have potentially 5 belts across the bottom and then an additional 4 up each side. So we're looking at 13 belts running down each tunnel, and maybe more across the power running along the top, and then maybe more columns of them on the sides if absolutely necessary as well. It's going to be a bit nuts, but very, very useful for transporting enormous quantities of stuff around. I thought they said they'd fixed that, where you get a glow of light underground. That should fade away into blackness, not fade away into blueness. Oh well, never mind. 8, 6, 7, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 60, 59, 58, 7, 5. Stop. There we go. Turn that way. And we are now, yes, we've got past the mineral rock patch, which is what I was worried. I was slightly worried that the mineral rock would be, it says height is 70, but I don't know whether that's the top or the bottom of it. I was slightly concerned that the top of the patch might poke up into the way of the boring machine. But I think it's actually tucked away in that corner anyway, so it's safe. Right, so from here, we then wanted to go up to, well, it wasn't 11 at this point, wasn't it? This was the one that was 89. Was it 89 or was it minus 89? So we're going to come up to here. This is 89, which is 900 and some. Okay, well, we'll set this going, and I'm not going to watch that, because that's going to go forever. 900, confirm. I think I might need to give you better fuel. Let's try giving you coal rubble, see if that goes, allows it to go any further. Right, and off you go. And I suppose at this point I should probably start placing power lines down my massive tunnel, and think about where my elevators are going to be. I've overshot the elevators. Elevators are going to be about here. Let's tap in from here and see how far we get before we spot anything. And I'm just going to go full size with this. Actually, no, I'm not, because that takes forever. Let's drop down to 3x3. Hopefully, I'll go straight into one of the elevators this way. We'll see. I'm probably also going to need to put in quite a bit of additional power generation at some point as well, because this is because having an additional blast furnace is going to is going to use a lot of power. Right, so there's another one there, presumably. No? I'm on the edge of them, then. Wait, what? Where am I? Oh, yeah. Spot on. Okay. So, yeah, I just want to tunnel through this way now. Boom. Boom, there's one. There's the beginning of the second one. End of the second one. Beginning of the third one. End of the third one. Beginning of the fourth one. End of the fourth one. Right, and let's do now what I should have done from the start and just rip out this entire section of mountain from there to there to there. Don't need any of this. This is just going to be nice and wide open so we can have lots and lots of copper ore flowing in. I say lots and lots of copper ore. I'm going to have like 2 belts at the most because there'll be green belts, and that's a lot, and that's 600 copper ore per whatever. Oh, that said, I may well end up doing some of my processing down. In fact, I will end up doing some of my processing down here because that's what I did with the other resource. With the iron one, I was processing the coal and possibly the iron ore underground, and then sending it up through the system. So, we'll clear out some space here anyway, and then probably have rooms off to the side where various processing is going to be done of various different ingredients and resources. I'm also going to need to run a pipe of fracking fluid all the way down this tunnel. That's going to be fun. And then have that emerge somewhere. So I think I'm probably going to want a way out about sort of around here somewhere. So let's dig that, because that's going to be quite quick and easy. We'll dig a way out here by the elevators. So I can keep an eye on what's going on above and below ground without too much faffing around. I forget how far down E21 is, and sometimes wonder why I'm building quite that far underground. But it does mean it's out of the way of all of my other constructions and things. I'm also going to put in a Mario thing around here. I can't do a full size one because I've come out too close to the elevator, but that's fine. The elevator, to be fair, the elevators do make it fairly obvious where it is. But I think this is a sort of a personal symbol that I'm going to start trying to add in all the places where I've made it easy for myself to get back underground, because it makes it a bit more obvious, makes it a bit easier to spot these things. Right, so just out of curiosity, so construction seems to be happening on this building first, on one of the heaters. This one over here. None of them are finished, but we can have a look and see how they're getting on. So you have got... It's got about half of its construction material. It's half built. Cool. Nothing. 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 Ooh, finished. Cool. So we've finished one of the smallest buildings, and we're about halfway through one of the medium buildings. That's actually better than I was expecting, given the shortages of concrete we've been seeing. So I'm quite happy with that. Right, I can put in the bottoms of my elevators as well now, can't I? Also, let's go down here and start running power around, because we're going to want that. Down the hole. Whee! Bonk. Now, question is, should I bring the power down next to my bolt hole from above, or should I stick in a transformer down here? I think I should bring it down from above. So that means we go over this way a little bit and there, dig another hole. Here. I may come up directly underneath some other foundation when I do this. I'm not sure. I didn't count exactly. I think I won't, but I'm not absolutely sure. Either way, I'll come up next to foundation at worst. Oh no, yeah, there we go. So it's next to the Mario pipe thing, so that's fine. But now I can put that in there, and if we switch back over to vertical building mode, then hopefully I can do this. Or alternatively not, because it just didn't work. What the hell? Why does this not work? What has happened? Oh! No, I've been booted out of the hole. That's what happened. I've gone in the other hole. If you'll pardon the expression. So that goes to there. And then, hopefully, if I just fill that in like that, hopefully that's now power down here. We don't know at the moment because it's not plugged in at the top, so I can't test anything. But I will put in the bottoms of the elevators while I'm standing here. Just because, why not, basically. Bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because that's another thing that takes quite a long time to establish itself. They'll all have to dig through all of that rubble, all that rock. Next thing, speaking of things that take quite a long time to do, is going to be running cables. And I'm probably going to run out of pylons very, very quickly doing this. So I'm going to make a start on it. So there we go. There's one of those there. I guess we'll put that there and then run along the top side here. And then I can run these all the way down the tunnels. Whoa. Oh, okay. I've peekabooed through into one of the other tunnels here, apparently. That was not my intention, but oh well. That at least might be an easy way to get the copper ore into the new system. So, sure, I won't complain too much about that. I'm going to make my usual complaint here. I wish I could click and drag these things to place them at their maximum distance. A la a certain other factory game you might be familiar with. Oops, didn't mean to put that one in. Never mind. I wonder how the boring machine's getting on. I'm basically assuming I'm going to run out of probably the wall pylons. I think it's going to be my first. Yeah, there we go. I've run out of wall pylons, haven't I? Yes. I was saying I expect I'm going to run out of those fairly soon, and then just like that, I did. So I need to get some more wall pylons as well. Need to get more cable. I seem to be running out of various types of belt things as well. There are lots of things I'm running out of. The boring machine is quite dull. Yes, you could be. I see what you did there. Very good. I'm kind of impressed. Ooh, there's a different type of rock here. That's almost exciting. So one of the things they've been talking about in the developer blogs recently is putting in a sort of an underground caves generation system. So that's presumably going to be coming out in a future update, because I don't think it's in yet. So that'll make bimbling around underground a little bit more interesting, because occasionally you'll find things. I don't know whether there's going to be any sort of interesting use for the caves you find, or whether it's just going to be, oh look, you found a cave. Isn't that mildly interesting? You can now wander around in here. It's like mountains but underground. Right, where are we? Excellent. We have gone straight through that area where I was talking about going straight through, and we are coming up to about the sort of area I was talking about wanting to reach. So we want to go to 89. We're currently at 66. Am I standing in the middle of the thing? 64, 65, 66. I want to go 89, so that's 23. This is working really well. And that didn't get through too much of the coal I chucked in either. So coal goes a lot further, unsurprisingly. And you'd expect coal to be to go a long way as a fuel source when compared to wood. Turn. Right, and now we should be able to go straight for 143 and hit the other tunnel dead on. If I do, I will be honestly astounded. But you know what? We're just going to give it a try. It looks promising. Reasonably promising. Vaguely promising. I don't know. Let's see how we go. Oh, the green blob that I thought was possibly part of the tunnel is actually a pylon above ground by the looks of it. Okay, never mind then. But it's close. We may end up having a bit of a kink in the tunnel, which will be a shame. But c'est la vie, I suppose. I'm at 89. It says 89 in the corner of the screen here, which is what we were on before. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we might come out in the right place. I am standing in the middle of the boring machine. So I think they're probably going to mate. Oh, the height is 90. How is the height? Oh, the height is 90 because I'm standing in the machine. Phew. Okay, I got really worried about that then. But no, if I drop out to here, then the height is 89. I don't know why it's 89. I just started building a tunnel at that point, and that has become my standard, which is basically how standards get started in my experience. Somebody does something daft and then goes, yeah, we'll carry on doing that. We'll carry on doing it that way. That seems like a sensible way to do it. Very nearly there, though. 8, 7, 6, 5, 81. You have arrived. Okay, we'll get out. We're off, aren't we? How? I mean, I said 89. This is 89. This is not 89. Oh, this is 86. Oh, stupid thing. I keep getting the height and the height. I keep getting the height and the north-south the wrong way around. So we have a kinky tunnel. But oh well, c'est la vie. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to redig the whole thing just to sort that out. What I will do is take out a big chunk on this corner here, so there's room for the belts to wiggle as they go through. That's kind of annoying, but oh well. Okay, so what do I need more of? I'm going to need an enormous quantity of pipes. I'm going to need and I'm going to go and get the fracking fluid from over there somewhere. I'm going to need a large number of the wall pylons. I'm going to need a load of cable and probably other stuff besides that I've not thought of. I'm also still going to need enormous amounts of concrete, but we can't do anything about that until the enormous. That's just wait for the concrete to arrive, really, unfortunately. Right. I think wall pylons are along here somewhere. I think that they're something I built quite late, but they're quite simple. Yes, there we go, wall pylons. 100 is a decent number. I don't know if it's as many as I actually really will need, but it feels like a decent number. Let's upgrade the machine so we make some more a bit more quickly. There we go. Also going to need cable. That comes from over here. Now, having 50 power line, having 100 wall pylons isn't going to do me any good if I've only got 50 power line. So let's upgrade that one, that machine as well, so we can make those a bit faster. There we go. Those were the main things. Now, more belt is going to definitely be useful because I am going to be needing to run belts along these. 2,000, wow. So take 1,000 of that. Let's destroy all of that. There we go. That's a little bit tidier. How's my foundation? Still 1,000. Let's get another stack. And then I did say I was going to want pipes and probably pumps. Ooh, we're not making foundation. Why are we not making foundation? Is that because we have actually run out of copper down here? That's problematic. But I mean, I've got 1,800 of it. That's probably going to keep me going for this construction. But if we're not going to copper, we're not going to be making any power line, presumably. That's a problem. Ah, yes, these bigger machines do have bigger internal buffers for things. That's worth knowing. Pipe. Pipes are just steel, so we should have loads. Oh no, wait, pipes go into a box over here because I didn't have and never had enough of them. Gimme. And then, did I grab more green belts? Yes. I didn't grab more green ramps, though, which is an important part of green belts. You're not green belt. No, you're not. You're green belts, and therefore over here we've got green ramps somewhere. What are you? No, you are green. You are just green belts. You're green ramps. Have some more of that. Still got a number of splitters. I don't get through splitters in anything like the same quantities as the other parts, which I think makes a certain amount of sense. Right, and also I need you to make me a fracking tower base. Just going to do circuits and steel and maybe concrete. Hopefully not concrete. I don't know. No, not concrete, but some. Need some of those. More than that, sadly. I guess it's time to put the inserter back in over here, which I took out because it was filling up with ludicrous numbers of them, which now it's doing with the circuits, with the green circuits instead. So let's take that out, because I understand the concept of trying to use up the ones that are in the chest first. There we go. Are you now happy? I mean, you're still filling up this stuff. Yep, there we go. Now it's building. Pumps. Pumps are a very good shout, Boardeasy. Thank you very much. I'll go and grab that. Yeah, I could make the entire tunnel wider just to compensate for my inability to make two things join up. But I'm not going to. Right. You get the various inputs. Those things and lots of pipes. And the steel and the components and the steel and the iron Yeah, there we go, that'll do. Pumps. Don't need all that many of them. And it's possible I've got enough, but I'd rather not assume that. Pipe boiler, power line, steam turbine, pipe intake, starter, casting machine, pump jack, flare stack. Are they on the other side? Freight electronics, fluid assembly, large pylons, transformers. Where are pumps? Okay, what goes into a pump? If you were a pump, how would you be made? Okay, very basic stuff, so it's probably over here then. But it's probably quite a long way down because I didn't start doing fluids until fairly late. There is some logic in where things are, but not a great deal. Okay, back in the hole. Oh, nearly. It would be very, very satisfying to drop myself perfectly into the hole, just zoom, but quite unlikely to happen, I suspect. Right, so here is, slightly frustratingly, the pipes are in the way of the cables. So let's remove all of these, and then accept that I'm going to cut stuff off, and then come back and relink them in a moment, but run the pipe along in the top corner. So I can remove all of those. Oh, it's probably only that that's been disconnected, but so that's not fine because we do need the we do need to have a quantity. You're full? That's annoying. These wall-mounted pylons are not very good, it turns out. You have to have a second one in here then, which seems a little bit silly, but there's the brakes. It's quite cool that the red or green glow of yes you can or no you can't build here is actually bright. Is apparently a real world thing that is visible on the glowing around it. It's not just a sort of a user interface thing. It is actually physically there in the world and it reflects off the walls. I'm not even quite sure what's going to be going along this tunnel, apart from the fracking at this point, apart from the fracking fluid, because the copper will have left quite a long time ago. It might just be power and fracking fluid for all I know. Maybe I should be doing this with copy paste in some way. Get two pylons at the maximum distance apart, and then at least I'll be able to see where I was putting them. And in fact, I'd probably be able to do a repeating blueprint thing. Maybe. Actually, I don't know if that would work. Yeah, would definitely appreciate an easier way to do, or just a quicker and easier way to do this. It just allows you to flit along, holding the button down, dropping pylons every so often. I did say in the game's defense when I was doing above ground pylons with the normal pylons and trying to go through over hill, down dale, avoid trees, that sort of thing. That it sort of didn't matter quite as much because you weren't doing the sort of the long, perfectly straight runs like you do in Factorio, because of the sort of the 3D-ness and the extra terrain you were dealing with as you went along. But now that I am actually just running straight down a dead straight, dead even tunnel, having a little bit more flexibility, or having an easy way of just dropping these things in at maximum distance would be really nice. Oh, absolutely, yes. The tunnel, I don't know what I'm going to send down that bit of the tunnel yet, but I probably, or at least I don't know, I know a couple of the things. There's electricity and there's fracking fluid. I may well, in fact, there's a fairly high chance that at some point I'll think of something else that I want to run along it. So it's good to have a nice big tunnel. And also it's much easier to send the boring machine along doing a full-size 5x5 than it would be to do anything smaller, really. because that way I can just send it off on its way and it'll do it. Whereas if I was doing it by hand, that would take forever. Or if I was doing it with my construction bots, or even with the automated ones, I'd only be able to tell it to do about 30 at a time. And that would also take forever. Whereas the boring machine, you can say, go 900 squares, and it'll happily do that. Which is very nice. Oh, here's the corner. I'm nearly there. And here we find the standards have changed, and now that's on the wall, on the side of the wall. Never mind. Right, next thing is I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and run the pipe for the fracking fluid from the other end, because that way, whenever I find that it's whenever it goes red, I'll know. Aha! I need to put a pump in. Whereas if I do it from this end outwards, I don't know if an unconnected pipe is going to start flashing red in quite the same way. So I think I'd rather go in the same direction. It just feels safer somehow. That's probably foolish and doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but it feels better. Also, at some point, I'm going to want to have put in the elevator for the copper being brought out to into the main part of the factory. My slight concern is that at the moment I have several green belts worth of copper going into the factory. I think this blast furnace is going to have to be absolutely enormous and running at many times the speed of the previous one I built. As seems to be traditional in factory games, I am getting through a lot more copper than I am iron. Right, here we are. So we'll remove that. Pop. And do that, and rotate you that way. Nope. Rotate you that. There we go, now that fits. I'm guessing that's going to go red pretty quickly because I put a pump in right here. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe that pump was a little premature. You know what though? I will put one in here because it's right by a pylon and that makes it easy. And then I can try and remember for how long these things can be in the future. Of course, I'm going to need to knock out a little bit of hole space in the ceiling in order to fit the pump in, like that. And then I can put in one of you guys there. No, high voltage one. Try again, one of these, but the high voltage type. Like that. That's upside down. What are you doing? And then we link you in. Bip, bop, just like that. Lovely. Can I have the pipe, please? I just placed a pipe. If you could place a pipe when I place a pipe, it'd be much appreciated. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 3. And we shall have some shenanigans. Like that, and like that. And then we'll go back to the straight ones. Yes, I am apparently referring to pipe corners as shenanigans at this point. How are we doing there? Pipe network has a complexity 131. Okay, so I can do another sort of almost 200. 170 in fact, which is kind of almost 200, but not really. So it's probably about 30. $65. 90. Whoop, found a corner. Put that there. This is probably going to be hitting the upper limits of the complexity. No, not quite. Alright, let's go to the next pylon and probably find that's too far. So we go to here. Is that still okay? Yes. Huh. How complex are you? 290 out of 300. That's about the right place to stop then. Good. Got that about right. So we'll do that. Then I can put in another one of the pumps. That should already be... Why are you upside down? What are you playing at? I don't know why pumps always seem to be the wrong way up all of a sudden. It's presumably something... I've presumably rotated a pipe or something to be upside... This pipe is presumably technically upside down or something ridiculous like that. 1, 2, 3. I think the belts don't fail if you drag them too far. but I'm not sure about that. But the pipes certainly do. So I should be trying to stop at about 30 each time, like that. Or just past 30. I hope I'm not leaving random gaps in these pipes. I am leaving random gaps in these pipes because it's not filled up with green sludge. There it is. Yes, I am possibly being a little careless with my pipe dragging and dropping, and need to be a little bit more, need to concentrate on getting it right a little bit more rather than just throwing them randomly at the wall and hoping they stick. Especially as there's a couple of sort of bits of user interface that show up, and I might be mistaking some of those for actual pipe. Are we still full? Yes, we are. Oh, but we're too long. How much too long? 480. Wow, I've gone way over. Let's cut it here. So pull a piece out there. Still too long. About another 50. What was that? So that's about 310. Let's go to 250 then. Whoop. About here, in fact, by this pylon. This seems like a good place because pylon. Zap, 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 zap. I should put this in 2x2 mode. There we go. That'll be easier next time. Then we put in our pump, which is probably going to be upside down again. Yeah, of course it is. Shove it in the gap. Boom. And then we get the cable. That there. Right, so that was about 250. So I want to go to 550 for my next one, or maybe a little bit less than 550. Trying to watch too many things at once there. And I'm sort of assuming that one piece of pipe is one complexity, because that seems logical and likely. Okay, this is about 500. That seems reasonable. It's a little bit shorter, but that does mean if I make this a little bit shorter than it has to be, then it gives me a little bit more space to play with if I want to then run any spurs off this or do anything funny with the pipes. What the hell are you doing? Right, there we go. Pipe. So that's 500, so I can go to 800 before I have a... Well, now I can almost go to 800 before I have a problem. Am I even going to get to 800? I can't remember. I can't remember how long this tunnel is. I just sort of feel like it's one of those things where you're just building and building and building, and then you're not even thinking about how far you've got, just how far you have left to go. It's just sort of a never-ending tunnel. Yeah, I am going to get to 800. Stop at the next pylon then. There's one. La 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 la. This is a little repetitive, for which I apologise. But this is the problem with things being so far away and not having. And I don't know. I don't know what the correct way of. I don't know what the correct gameplay way of sorting this out would be. But there is quite a lot of expansion required when you're going out to a new area like this. I suppose I could be making the fracking fluid on site. It's not that complicated. There was some oil in the area, so I think so it wouldn't have been too difficult. A corner, hurrah! Must be nearly there. I'm not sure that's actually true, but I would like to think it's true. Yeah, I could have made the fracking fluid sort of more or less on site, but I don't know. I didn't. Right, where's my fracking tower going to be? That's the first question. So where is my actual patch? It's all the way over here. Okay, so I need to keep going quite a bit further with these pipes. How complicated are you? 229. Okay, I can do another couple of stripes like that, and like where are my pylons? There are my pylons. Knock a hole here. Put in a pump, which is of course in a comically wrong direction. There we go. And then a cable. Where are you? There you are. There. And okay, I'll knock out a bit more ceiling because that does look a bit wrong, I will admit. Boom. There we go. Ah, here we are. I've got to. This is sort of the in by the actual patch now, so I must be in about the right place. Oh yeah, that's overshot a bit, in fact. Let's go back to about. Well, actually, if I, then this is looking like this is a good place to come up. So all right, I'll go past that, and then here, switch you back over to a 1x1. And if I did dig a hole up here, that can be my. This is where the pipe will come out. I won't be flying in and out of here myself, so I don't need any sort of escape hatch. Oh, I've gone into the ore vein. That's infuriating. It's of silly shape. How silly a shape is it from here? Okay, I need to go over a couple of blocks. That's going to be fiddly with the pipe, but manageable. Okay. That should now be alright. That's so annoying. I was just so right on the edge of it. But, oh well, what can you do? Okay, so now, did I bring over the fracking tower base? I think I did. I've got 2 of them. Oh dear. And I need to laser out all the trees that are in the way first as well. And probably remove things like this. But mostly these. But mostly trees. Boom. And probably you. Probably you. Pew, pew. What does that mean? Probably. I think this might actually be a slightly larger area than I strictly need it to be. Yeah, that's easily big enough. Right, so let's put in one of my fracking towers. You go. Where are your inputs? Where are your inputs? I'm fairly sure I've been able to see them before. Oh, where did I come? Oh, that's where I. No, it's not. I've lost my hold again. Is it you? Yes, it is. There's the hole. Right, okay, so we want it to be close to here. Just put it like that. Boom. Okay. And we don't even get the fluid inputs until we put a bit more on it, I remember. I think I remember that being the case. That's really high up. What are you on top of? Oh no, it's just your drill. Okay, fine. Alright, so now I need to use the magic clipboard, and we say that is the wrong way around. Try again. It's a bit annoying that you can't tell which way round something's going to be when you're just throwing waving your blueprint around. So I'm pretty sure if I rotate once, that's now going to be in the correct orientation. So let's try that. Boop. Hang on, what's it? Oh no, it's 180 degrees out. The robot wasn't on the near side of it. Rage. Okay, 3rd time lucky? Maybe. We'll find out. So, fracking tower. Rotate twice more. Place. And then magic clipboard. Boop. Yes, that's correct this time. So we want to have a pipe connection, we want to have a power connection, we want to have tower. I don't know whether you. Presumably, the taller you make it, the more effective it is. So I'm going to make it as tall as possible. There we go. Even if it does mean it requires more construction material. Whatever. Right, so there we go. That's now being built, and it is kind of chonky. And we'll see down here. This is where the pipe comes out, and this is almost perfectly lined. No, actually perfectly lined up. Sweet. Right, so let's get some pipes out. Let's run some pipe up to that, and then run my pipe down the hole. So I want to go from. Oh, we can't attach to it yet, apparently. I mean, I can if I cheat a little bit. There we go. If I drop down to here, so I think I want that, and then I want a corner. Come on, Laurence. There we go. Is that going to come down and hit me, or is it going to come down? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's going straight down the hole, just like me. Whoop. Right, so do that, and then we fall in the other half of the hole because, of course, we do. Then we want a corner like that, a straight like that. Another corner like that, and then we go back to the straights again, all the way down to the bottom. Might have gone slightly too far there. Yep, I have gone slightly too far, but that's okay. We can knock a few of those out. And then finally we put in our last corner like this, and we'll probably find that the pipe's too long. Nope, pipe's okay. Sweet. How okay is the pipe? Are we borderline? Oh, we've got loads and loads of pipe. Sweet. Right, so that's my fracking fluid brought into the new fracking tower, which won't be built for about 3 million years at this point, because it's going to be an absolutely enormous job. But it will eventually happen. I think there's a way out from this tunnel over here. Yes, there is. Sweet. Can we go up the tunnel, please? Thank you. Zoop. Now, I think I did break a pylon while I was doing the fracking tower, so let's go in and fix that, because I'll have just taken power away from my entire circuit production facility over here. So, there's going to be some more of these cables, and we're going to go from there to there to... Where did it come from? Where did it go? Oh, there. Try that again. Try and get the distances right this time. So from there we can go to about here, and from there we can go to there. Right, that's good. And then we also going to want to come over here and put in a large transformer. I think this is enough room for a large transformer, because they're large, but they're not that large. Do I have a transformer large? Yeah, I do. Sweet. So I put you in there, and then we can link that into the pylon if the cable reaches, which it does. Awesome. Right, now this whole area is powered, so we should be good. Even when we're in this whole once I get everything linked up and hopefully mostly largely working, it should just work. I should get the power over here, and things should kick in. So, what's on the to-do list now for this thing? Well, obviously, waiting for it to actually get built is fairly high on the to-do list. We've got two of the heating towers built now, so that's good. That's an excellent start. And we've got one of the air intakes. Okay, but it's coming along. We're seeing each time we come out here, we're seeing progress. This one is now at nothing done. This one is about a sixth of the material has been brought out. This one untouched, and presumably my fracking tower over here is also untouched. Yeah, also untouched. So there's still a lot of material needed in order to get all this working, and most of that is in the form of concrete. Oh look, there's a load being rained down now from one of the ships. Excellent. So this is still early days. There's a lot left to do before this system will be truly up and running and actually producing the copper that we need. But I think I've made some good progress towards getting it up and going, in that we've now got all the buildings are blueprinted into place. All of this stuff down here is assembled. Now, I do want to put in another copy of this, because I think we're getting through enough copper that it's worth having the full 4 belts worth coming out of it. So I'll put in some more of that going off into the wilderness in this direction, and then at least one of those belts will run over to here in order to make the green circuits. Maybe we'll stop bringing plastic in by aeroplane. Maybe we'll start taking green circuits away by aeroplane. But those will be things I'll fit in later. We'll also then run some green belts along the mega tunnel all the way back over there. But before I can get that actually happening, I think I should probably be going in and setting up some of these mines here. So getting the rock coming out of here and the ignium ore. I'm also going to need to refresh my memory on how to get the coked. Was it coked ignium and crushed? I think it was crushed ore and coked ignium. Let's have a look in here. So is that the thing? Yeah, there we go. Coked ignium. So you cook. Yeah, you cook the ignium. You turn it into coked ignium. I'm not quite sure what that is chemically, but yeah, sure, we'll do that. That's easy enough. That's just some advanced smelters. We've got plenty of those, and I'm pretty sure, although I don't remember for certain, that you need to turn the your copper ore rubble into copper ore. So that's going to be crushers, but again, that's not particularly difficult. That's nice and easy. We'll just fit those on the edge of the tunnel, like I did with the other one. I think I may. Do I also need to process the ore into the stone into gravel? No, I don't, because it was coming through as stone, which is why I put a gravelator in here. So that much is fine. Yeah, I think this is coming on quite nicely. So as I say, the next jobs are going to be put in the 2 mines over here and the processing steps in underground over here, and also run the belts of the copper ore rubble from the vein out this way along these tunnels. That's not going to be too difficult, I don't think. And then it's going to be a case of running massive numbers of belts up and down this tunnel and thinking about what I want to have running along it. Because if I think about it and plan it, then I can do it with copy paste, and it'll be much easier, much quicker, and just nice and easy. So, for example, I think I'm going to want to have a belt of green circuits going back. I'm going to want to have a belt of plastic. I'm going to want to have a belt of 2 belts of copper going out back, maybe 3 belts of copper going back. I'm going to want a belt of plastic, so that's 4 belts going back. I'm going to want a belt of plastic, copper coming over to here. I'm going to want a belt of plastic coming out, so that's 4 out, 1 back. That might be it, actually. I think that's going to be it. So 4 belts going back up here, 1 belt coming out with the plastic in it. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad. And then we can stick the plastic in here, and hopefully there'll be enough throughput from that to get things running. And also, hopefully, we'll be able to. Yeah, I think we should be able to get enough copper out of this system to make things run nicely. And if we don't, then I guess it's just another one of these. That's not the end of the world, is it? We can make another one of these if we have to. And and another belt going back for the concrete as well. So that's 6 belts going back. Quite a lot of stuff. This is going to be a good productive area of the factory. And you'd kind of hope, given the scale of this machine we're building here, wouldn't you, really? And after that, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be the next stage after that, because I've been chasing resource shortages round and round, solving each one in turn, granted, but then still finding other problems. So I moved a copper mining over to here, and now that's turned out to not be enough. We've got a stone problem over here, so we don't have enough concrete, which is causing problems with trying to build up these enormous buildings. But I guess I don't know. Am I going to need to tap another stone patch and just straight up make it into concrete? And if I am, then it's going to need to be near an iron ore patch. So this would be a good place. I could make a huge quantity of concrete here, and then set it as a low priority compared to the concrete that's coming from these places. That makes sense. I could do that fairly easily. These are, as I say, nice and close together, and just then that's feed it up here along with the other concrete. That's fine. So yeah, this all started off with me having a steel shortage and therefore needing more iron ore, and so then trying to make this iron ore go a bit further by taking the iron away from by not making iron from iron ore in quite the same way anymore. So hence making it over here. Then that uncovered the copper problem, so we're now trying to work on that. And yeah, it's a factory game. These things, this is basically how these things go. So yeah, I think that's put us in quite a good position. We should probably take a look at the space station. I mean, that's it. I don't think there's been anything that I've changed sufficiently for it to really. Oh, did I turn the radio tower off? Apparently, I turned the radio tower off to save power. That was a sensible thing to do, but it's kind of annoying when I'm all the way over here and miles and miles away from the radio tower. Maybe we won't look at that right now. Let's drop down here instead and have a look at how power is holding up, because I'm kind of curious. Grid stats. What time of day is it? I didn't even look before I clicked on the button. It is. It's just gone night time. Okay, so the batteries should be as charged as they get. Well, they've discharged a little bit. That's probably all right. I don't know. I kind of need to look at the end of the night to see how the batteries are holding up, and that's the indication of how power is doing in around the factory. But yeah, we have the steam turbines haven't kicked in yet. But I suspect, especially when this new what do we call it? Once hot air stoves come online, I'm going to need quite a bit more power generation. So the air intakes use 60. They use a lot of power. Jeez. Actually no, only 2 of those. So we're using 8 megawatts. So we need about 30 megawatts for the furnace, for the blast furnace. That's about half my total power consumption at the moment. So I don't know what my total power generation is because the solar panels are asleep because it's nighttime. Maybe I should wait till tomorrow and find out then. But yeah, we're going to need to put another 40 megawatts of power onto this. Well, no, another 30 megawatts of power onto this when this kicks in. So we're going to be going well over 100 megawatts at that point. That's a lot of power. Okay. So at this point, yeah, I think it is now 10 minutes to tomorrow. So I'm going to call the stream here. Thank you very much for watching. I feel like I've been running around like a headless chicken doing lots and lots of different things. But then actually when I think about it, I have got quite a lot done. So I've got the iron ore processing over here running nicely and making concrete as well, all of which is being fed down the belts down here into the factory. And from that, I've now gone, okay, I need a load more copper, so I've built up this system here, which, okay, it's still being built by the robots, but the basic system has been put in and is sort of in the process of being built. I've chased my tail around a bit about the concrete. What else have I done? Oh, I've made some massive tunnel runs, going from here all the way down out this way, and run some pipes along them. That's certainly worth shouting about. Beyond that, I can't think what else has been done. But yeah, these have been some big things that are building into even bigger things. So yeah, it's a sort of point in the series where I don't go in and make 20 new things. I go in and make half of one thing that's 100 times bigger than the initial things I was making. But yeah, it's coming along quite nicely, I think. So I think putting in more solar power next time is going to be a good idea, because this is probably not going to be able to keep up once the second blast furnace comes online. Definitely making more concrete over here is going to be a very good idea. And let me just check the recipe for concrete before I go. Components. So cement is rock and iron ore, and gravel is rock, and concrete is cement, and water as well. So yeah, that should be okay. Good. I'm glad you're looking forward to some more bodies. Yes, I'll be playing some more Planetary Pioneers on Monday. I should do my advertising bit, shouldn't I? A bit. So yes, come check out. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, because there'll be Factorio videos coming out tomorrow and Friday. Exactly what they're about will depend on whether you're a supporter or not, because supporters get access to videos a week early. Then on Monday there'll be another Planetary Pioneers stream starting at 7:30 with the 5 of us all playing together. That will run, and then that will involve us having a bit of a poke around Corundum and seeing what we can do over there. And I've noticed a couple of things I need to fix on Vulcanus, but you know, that's on me. Then on Wednesday, yes, I shall be back for some more Foundry. Hopefully we'll get this thing up and running. Basically, this is limited by concrete, and oh yes, and going off and getting the mines up and built for the supplies for it. So there's a bit of work to do here, but I think it shouldn't be too hard to get this up and running. Now that I know what I'm doing with blast furnaces, it's going to be fairly easy to put one in. Hopefully this is going to produce enough copper for the rest of the system. Worst case, I mean, I might find I need to put in another copy of it down here somewhere or over here, which would be a little bit ridiculous, but you know what? If the factory needs that much copper, the factory needs that much copper, and that's what we're going to have to do. We'll see how it goes. So that's going to be next Wednesday. I think that's basically everything that's going on at the moment. There'll be streams are going to carry on like that for the foreseeable future. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Oh, and if you're watching on Twitch, hang around for a little bit longer, because I will go and find somebody to raid as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. Right, game is paused. Twitch is twitchy. Let's go and find someone to raid. First question: is there anyone playing Foundry? If there is, we'll go and watch them, because I feel like it's appropriate to stick with the same game. But nope, nobody's playing Foundry. Okay, well, we'll remove that filter, and then we'll see. Is there anyone I'm following on running at the moment? Yes, we've got a couple of people here. I don't know either of these games. Let's join this one. Go and see what they're up to. Right, so it's some. I don't even know what game this is. It doesn't say. Oh, Enshrouded. So if anyone knows Enshrouded, that's what we're going to go and investigate. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll say good night.